Tiwari. He is the Director of Internal Quality Assurance Committee of MZU. He is a Senior Professor at the Department of Chemistry, Mizoram University. He is also the Editor-in-Chief of Science and Technology, which is published by the university, and also an editor in many other journals as well. Today he will be the chairperson, and I would like to call upon Professor Diwakar Tiwari to start the technical session.
Good afternoon to all of you. Thank you, Professor Baby, Professor Fente, giving me this opportunity to chair this technical session. Of course, it is I'll say that the second technical session, which was welcome, as well as the technical session was there in the morning session. So it is the second technical session, I will say, in fact. So there are the several speakers, and one which was missed, the keynote speaker, that will also be included in this session. So we will be having a wonderful session, the technical session after the lunch. I hope all you have taken the lunch. I welcome all the participants from the different colleges, from the Mizoram University, the students and the faculties and all that. So thank you. This session, to chair this session, Madam. Just a few words I would like to mention before I start the session, and since all the speakers are online, they will be joining with us. This is an important component, I will say, that is the internationalization of the higher education in India, or HEIs. It was, of course, all the universities that has been asked to have the International Affairs Office in their institutions, and that is I will say that the mandatory component. What is that the role, and what are the responsibilities, and I will say that what are the challenges ahead that we have to look into. And that for that purpose, the International Affairs Office that will be taking and given I will say that the more responsibility, greater responsibilities, and they will be having the bigger challenges in future. If you look at that, the Honorable Prime Minister, what he used to mention, that we are moving in the Amrit Kal, and by 2047 that we have a greater target of the Viksit Bharat. Viksit Bharat, when we always talk about that, we have to be the leader rather than the follower. Leader in terms of, I'll say that the technology leader. There are a lot of meetings that I used to attend. This is a greater emphasis is there. Unless until we will be having the technology leader, we cannot achieve the greater target. And unless until in that component, I will say that in the educational system, we will be having the global leader or the global competitiveness, we cannot achieve. The International Affairs Office can take the greater responsibility and can deliver on that to achieve that particular aspect. We have to create a bigger, a good ecosystem in the educational institutions and all that, and to achieve the target. So with these few words, I would like to just invite our first speaker, who is from the AIU Association of the...
Because only traditionally our face can.
Before we call upon Mr. Kuldeep Dagar, I will briefly read out his introduction. Mr. Dagal is currently serving as the Joint Secretary with Association of India University and contributing in the recognition of foreign qualifications and international divisions. He has served as a member of various committees and professional bodies, including Government of India, Joint Forces for Mutual Recognition of Qualifications between India and the United Kingdom, India and Australia, among others. He has organized various international conferences, moderated panel discussions on contemporary education issues, and felicitated Indian universities to forge academic and research partnership of Indian universities with foreign universities. We are happy to have Mr. Kuldeep Dagar today. Sir, you may present your speech now.
Good afternoon to everyone, and apologies about this audio thing. First of all, I'm really grateful to Mizoram University, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Tiwari, and special thanks to Professor H.K. Landin P. for giving me this opportunity to present my talk today before you. So I shall be presenting on equivalence of foreign qualifications, which AIU has been doing since its inception in 1925. So we are about to complete 99 years. So I'll be just sharing my screen. So ladies and gentlemen, so I'm Kuldeep Dagar and I'm Joint Secretary here with Association of Indian Universities. I had two verticals here. One is recognition of foreign qualification and other one is internationalization of higher education. First of all, about the mandate which we have got from the Ministry of Education for according equivalence to different qualifications. A little brief about AIU. So AIU was established as inter-university board in 1925, primarily for two reasons. One is to coordinate inter-university matters, and second is to get Indian degrees recognized outside India. So in this process, AIU started doing recognition of foreign qualifications for its higher education institutions in 1925. Then, after long experience, in 1995, the Ministry of Education decided that the equivalence certificate given by AIU for higher education purpose, that shall be valid for employment purpose as well. So presently, we have been doing equivalence of school and foreign and higher education qualifications. So we cover the entire spectrum. The other mandate which we have is equivalence of Indian school boards. So this is a recent mandate which we have got from Ministry of Education. So here we draw equivalence of various Indian school boards with other school boards. So there are a large number of Indian school boards, which some of them are not recognized, not approved by anybody. So this is a mammoth task which was given by the ministry to AIU. We came out with a SOP and which was approved by the government, and now we are doing this work. The other work which we are doing in terms of equivalence is we accord equivalence to postgraduate diploma programs of autonomous management institutions. Earlier, we used to do it for IIMs. Then after 2017 bill, when IIMs were empowered to award degrees, this has been further extended to various institutions. Some of the premier institutions are like MDI, XLRI, and many. So this is the mandate which we have from the government of India for equivalence purpose. Now, what exactly we do in equivalence? So one, we facilitate Ministry of Education in signing various mutual recognition of qualification agreements with the foreign countries. So some of the big ticket MOUs are like the MRQ with India, with UK, with Australia, France, and many more are in pipeline. We provide input to UPSC, ICCR, and various embassies and government departments on matter related to equivalence of qualifications. We also facilitate banks who disburse education loans to the student in terms of getting the recognition status of these foreign universities. And we coordinate, in fact, we have a large network with the foreign institution or similarly placed bodies outside India with US, UK, Australia, and almost with all the countries. We deal with these bodies, with the universities, with the bodies who are responsible for recognition of qualification. That's the work which we do at the equivalence division of AI. Now, there is slight confusion and we get a lot of queries. So I just want to take 30 seconds to inform that we don't do equivalence of foreign professional degrees. So professional degrees as in the degrees with which one can practice a profession. And for such degrees, there are professional councils which exist and they take care of their respective qualifications. For example, the qualification of law, LLB and all, medical related, dental, architect and all. So there are professional councils. So there are 17 professional councils which take care of the qualifications, including the foreign qualifications, and establishing their equivalence with Indian qualifications. We are also not involved in drawing equivalence of one Indian qualification with another qualification, because such qualifications, as per the regulations and rules, are valid or are automatically equivalent with each other. And we are also not involved in setting up or establishing equivalence with the disciplines. So, for example, a BTech in computer science with BTech in IT, whether they are equivalent or not, if both the degrees are awarded by Indian universities, so that can be done by the respective universities only. AIU does not establish equivalence between disciplines. So at school levels, what we have done is there are primarily, at school level, 4-5 education system, which we have mapped with our Indian secondary education qualifications. Some of them are IB, US high school diploma, European, Spanish, French, Australian. So all these school level qualifications have been mapped with our senior secondary qualification, and there has been a certain benchmark which has been established for according equivalence to these qualifications. So wherever these education systems are not there, there are 12 years of school education system which is approved by the ministry of their respective home country. And we have over a period of long time, we have already recognized those qualifications. We understand that the various qualifications with which these foreign students or our Indian students who go abroad and come back to us. So we do that also. So what is the process of establishing an equivalence? So I would say I will classify it into two categories. Number one, where we have already mapped those education system with our Indian qualification, and the other one is the where we receive a qualification which is totally new to AI. Or I would say that which we have not mapped with our Indian qualification. So the process we follow is then we go down to the program level or the course level, and we ask for a detailed proposal from that particular university or the institution, and a plethora of information is asked. And for getting a authenticity of that information, we generally route that through the Indian mission abroad or the foreign mission here, just to say that the information which we receive are authentic. So some of the parameters on which we ask for digital information are there on the screen. So we do ask about the structure of the qualification, the entry requirement, the curriculum, the credit requirement, learning hours, entry-level qualifications, nomenclature, and also, so I won't go into detail of that. So these detailed proposal is asked, and then an expert committee is established by AIU to look into the information which we receive, and that expert committee comes out with a recommendation. Then it is placed before our equivalence committee. Equivalence committee consists of vice chancellor of various universities and international expert, which considers the recommendation of expert committee and then further submits it for the approval of our governing council of AIU. Once the governing council approves, then it becomes a norm for the equivalence division to scrutinize the application as per that norm. So what are the broader norms? I would say, in the interest of time, I can't go into detail of everything, but what are the broader norms, for equivalence? So broadly, there are four norms. One, that the foreign qualification is awarded by a university or a foreign university which is approved, recognized, or accredited in the home country. So these are the different terminologies used. Somewhere it is approved, somewhere it is recognized or accredited. First of all, the first parameter is that. Then the qualification should have been pursued in full-time mode. So online qualifications are not considered for equivalence. Then the minimal eligibility requirement for admission in the program of study is same or at least similar to that in case of Indian qualification. So if it is a master's degree, then you need to have a bachelor degree before you can pursue master's degree. So there are countries wherein or the universities which even give exception to these kind of qualifications, but then they don't meet the norm and they don't get equivalence. Then the duration of the program is same or similar to Indian universities, or now there are credit things. So it's either the duration is same or the minimum number of credit acquired in the qualification are similar to that in case of India. So in this we have we do intensive work on this mapping of the credits of different countries, different universities with our Indian system. So, many countries have this process of pursuing a qualification in expeditious manner. So that means if a bachelor degree is to be pursued in 3 years, I can maybe during my summer break or winter break, I can take extra courses and complete this in expeditious manner in 2.5 years itself. But in those cases, we do look at the academic credits, whether the academic credit required for that particular program have been acquired, and then only the qualification has been awarded. But there are exceptions to these norms, and there are many more norms. I mean, those are the detailed nuances of doing equivalence. I've just covered the broader parameter which you need to consider. There are exceptions to these norms. One where we have signed bilateral agreements, say for example with UK. So in case of UK, the master degree is of 1 year. So for a long time it was not recognized, but then once the agreement is in place, so now the 1 year master's degree of UK is recognized and is considered as equivalent to our master's degree, but it should have certain minimum benchmarks. So for example, it needs to have 180 CATs and it should have been pursued in regular mode and not in online. So, so what I mean to say is that there are exceptions to this, and those are covered under different agreements which Government of India has signed with the various other governments. Then the exemption is provided if some exemption is given by the regulators, for example, UGC or AICT or any other regulatory body in that relevant area. So, for example, UGC has given exemption to qualifications which will be awarded through these different academic collaborations, say, for example, through joint or dual degree. But there, a minimum eligibility requirement is set in the regulation for the Indian and foreign universities to meet, and then only those qualifications would be recognized. If those qualifications, those two entities, Indian and foreign universities, do not meet, then there could be an issue. But if those are meeting, then the qualification awarded under that arrangement shall you don't have to worry about the equivalence. And similarly, the foreign universities opening their branch campus in India. So any qualifications which they will award, and as per in their branch campus in India, and those have been established as per UGC regulation, even there you don't need any equivalence certificate. Now, there are various arrangements under which we receive qualifications, and then there are different criteria for that. So we receive qualifications for the qualification for equivalence related to various foreign school boards operating in India, operating outside, then foreign universities having collaboration with Indian universities, So UGC regulation is recent one, but prior that also there have been various academic collaborations. So there are norms developed for that. So those which are not covered under UGC regulation presently, or which were the arrangement before the UGC regulation came in force. And the foreign universities, then they have these branch campuses, they have these various franchise and validation arrangements in different countries apart from their home countries. So we do receive qualifications which are awarded under different arrangements, and there are different norms which have been set for various arrangements. So for that, as I see the audience here, so are even the principal and students. So in case of you, you are planning to pursue a qualification or going outside India, then we have a student information services division, which you can always write in email to us and find out what is the status of that particular university, or whether this kind of qualification will have equivalence and all that stuff. So we before you actually land in that university or decide to pursue that program, so this kind of services are there, you can avail that. So you have to just shoot an email to us and we will respond to that. Now, those were the broad norms, but those who are planning to, kind of apply for equivalence, then you can visit our portal, and there is a online process in which you have to submit everything, and then an online digitally signed certificate would be delivered to you on your in your inbox. And if you don't have a completed qualification, then if you have a partially completed qualifications, then you can write to us on in our email, and we will respond to you. So presently, I just want to highlight that the franchise or validation arrangements, there are in India itself, a lot of foreign universities have these franchise and online arrangement, and those arrangements, the qualification awarded under those arrangements are not recognized presently. So everyone should keep that in mind, because there is a quality assurance issue involved with these qualifications. So presently they are not considered for equivalence. So I'm just now, just one slide I have put in place for dissemination of information, that now AIU is also launching a service to handhold our universities in to internationalize at home. So whether you want to internationalize your campus in the sense in terms of curriculum, establishing a foreign student office, or internationalization of curriculum, or maybe how you can bring that cultural change in your universities to be considered as to rate high in the internationalization index. And we also help in because we have a very large network of foreign universities and bodies who are interested to forge an academic collaboration. So we do facilitate our member universities in establishing an academic collaboration with various universities. Thank you very much, and I would be happy to take questions if there are any.
So thank you so much for calling me in this meeting, and I'm honored that our commission member Professor Sushma Yadav is here, and then all the distinguished professors and all the colleagues who are connected through online link are present over here, and we are really UGC is really thankful that I have been given this opportunity to speak few lines on internationalization. So as you all know, I'll be very brief, and it will I'll be connecting the dots how the internationalization is important to us, and since you are also convening the meeting in the same sphere, so how internationalization is going to give you an edge to become one of the country's good departments to go ahead with for internationalization at home policy. So as you know that NEP plays a special emphasis on reaching the pinnacle of global standards in the higher education of quality, and it emphasizes the importance of drawing more international students and striving for internationalization at home. This strategy recognizes the crucial importance of positioning India a premier education destination, offering high quality education at reasonable costs, thereby reaffirming its historical role as global teacher as Vishwaguru. We were Vishwaguru earlier, and again through NEP we have been rejuvenated, and then I can say that reincarnated to come as a Vishwaguru. So this is very important, and we have the history of Nalanda University and Takshila universities, which really had a seamless exchange of students and scholars. Age-old tradition has it embedded in Indian history and culture. So what we are doing it now through the internationalization at home policy. So it is like leveraging internationalization to improve the education quality and global engagement and economic growth in India, where through the best academic and research practices, through the interaction between the diverse education system, and also the development of global citizen through student and scholar mobility, and efforts to align the curriculum with the global standards and to enhance the productivity in a competitive economy, and government support for enhancing the research, innovation and teaching quality. So with these things, we have come up with few regulations which are very important. The first regulation is about the Twining dual and joint degrees, which we released in May 2022, through which we promote the Indian universities, which are top ranking universities, which are placed in NAC 3.01 and above, and also NIRF 100 ranking, to have international collaboration with the universities which are in top world ranking 1000. So that is going in a very big and very fast way, and it is coming forward for many more collaborations and exchanges in Twining dual and joint degrees program. So I would request Mizoram University and the department to have this collaboration with leading foreign universities, so that the exchange of students can take place through the curriculum derived for Twining dual and joint degree. The regulation is very transparent and clear, and UGC does not have any role into that, because it is you and the collaborating university who will have an exchange of dialects, and through that you can make the quality program for Twining dual and joint degree, and then go ahead with the collaboration, academic collaboration. And this is very important. And also I must tell you that we have many institutions, top ranking institutions, which have entered into this Twining dual and joint degrees, and the students are benefiting at large, and also the academic exchanges and other programs are also happening. So this is one thing which I wanted to say. And the second important thing is we have issued the regulation of the opening of branch campuses of foreign higher education institutions in India. So that was released last year in 2023 on 8th of November. And this is something, a breakthrough, I must say, that the top ranking institutions which are ranked in world 500, or some which have specific areas where they excel, they can open their branch campuses in India. And we are receiving a lot of knock on our portal. We have developed a portal for this, and on the portal everything is happening, and all the analysis and the new institutions which are coming, so those are being assessed on the portal. So that is a really game changer. It will be in few months, we'll be having few universities, foreign universities, top ranking foreign universities, which will open the campuses in India. So that is also a big thing which UGC has come up. And also we are doing a lot of exchange programs through MOUs, and also through the cultural exchange program and education exchange program, wherein the faculty and teachers, they come from different countries, and then they are in the universities, and they do the teaching and learning processes in the university. So those are also the takes which our international bureau has it. So basically, we are having this to have a brand building of India as a global destination for the students and all the faculties who thrive to have something more to understand about the Indian culture, ethos, and all the essence of what our heritage has it. And also, we have also asked the institutions to establish Office of International Affairs, wherein all the students can have a single point of contact where the student can come and then they can have information about FRRO or any other thing whatsoever is there. So it is enumerated in the guidelines. And also, we are asking the universities to have alumni connect, which is very vital, because in big universities like BHU and JNU, where I have been studied, so those universities have a very good variety of alumni association, wherein the lots of contribution and lots of academic activity from the side of alumni it happens. So I would request the university also to undergo those important brand building processes for establishment of these internationalization at home. Recently, we are also working for equivalence for schools and foreign universities also. We are planning, we have prepared the regulation, and then it is at final stage. So probably after a couple of months, we'll be into that about the equivalence process and then equating all the credits and all the credits transfer of the and everything, because we have come up with national credit framework, so all the mapping will be done with the credit framework, and all the qualifications will be recognized through that, and then it can come up, and then we will be evaluating it and then going ahead with it. And we have published many guidelines like national credit framework, national higher education qualification framework, and also so many professor of practices there. So you can just go through the NEP implementation UTSA portal, and you can see a lot of activities what UGC has been doing. And we are also training the teachers, training the faculty through our Malviya mission centers, where we have 116 centers which are giving different types of training of the courses. And also we have come up with Indian knowledge system, which is something where we are proud of our rich heritage, and then that how it can make you understand that the policies and all the permutations and combinations in the study can be synergized with what your values and Indian knowledge system it has. And also we are promoting the use of Bharatiya Bhasha, writing books and textbook in regional languages. So that also, and also writing the examination in regional languages. So that makes the student very comfortable. Whosoever is using their own mother tongue or regional languages can have the books to read and write and understand, because a cascade of students who are in sciences, humanities, and social sciences, they constitute more than 85% of the whole pyramid of the student enrollment, and then they need good books which are written in their mother tongue, and then that can be taken forward, and then that can be ascertained with all the value system of what we intend to give to our students and to the society, and also to the education system as a whole. So we are working a lot, and then I would expect that you grow in internationalization, and then you can come up with more and more eventful things which can promote the academic collaboration through the international co-partner, which is a very important parameter for the evaluation process in NAC or NIRF, wherein you get some ranking of the university, and also you get the grades for the university. So all those are very important, and also in the career span of the faculty, these types of collaboration is also very important. So I would really, I'm really happy and honored to be the part of this meeting. And with these words, I just make a break on my today's lecture. So thank you for inviting me, and then thank you, madam, that you being here as a guiding force. And then I'm honored to speak in front of all my lovely colleagues and all the lovely faculties. So I wish you all the best, and you grow, and then you get ahead in your endeavors, and really you shine as a best teacher everywhere, wherever you go, and give some good insights to your students, so that they may not in only the country, they may be the shine like a north star in the whole world. So with these words, I just put them back to me. Thank you so much. Yes.
Thank you.
The Honorable Vice Chancellor, Mizoram University, Professor Dibakar Chandra Deka. Maybe he was there in the morning, but anyway, he remains the head of the family. Professor H.K. Lal Dinpuri Fente, the Director, Office for International Affairs, Mizoram University, who is the spirit behind my being here, because she's waited for a year, I remember, and I couldn't come physically even now, but I'll come again, right? Surely. The panelists before me, Dr. Kuldeep Dagar, Dr. Archana Thakur, and I think Dr. Monash Singh will speak after me, ICCR. You have wonderfully organized this symposium. In fact, Nahi Archana ji, I think it's a wonderful combination of speakers.
It's wonderful, ma'am. And then she has pursued it so vigorously, ma'am, that it was very difficult to say no. Although I'm just leaving for a meeting, ma'am. So it's really wonderful. And you being there has added more, charm and more value to the meeting, ma'am.
Indeed, indeed.
Yeah. If I may butt in here, just one note. Thank you so much, Dr. Archana, ma'am. I know I was so insistent.
I know.
Yeah, but University Grants Commission, of course, it is represented because it is during, ma'am's Yadav's membership. She was such a big part of the manual and everything. And of course, now without the UGC, this is not going to be complete, because it is your mandate that we are trying to follow. That is why I was so insistent. Thank you so much. I know that you all have such a busy day.
Thank you so much. So nice of you.
Thank you so much.
And so nice of you that you called me. And then I wish you all the success for this meeting. And I feel more and more value addition will be added by Madam and other speakers also. And anything to always, I'm there.
Thank you.
Most
Yes. We have your phone number, so we will call you.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
Yes. Thank you so much. And Professor Sushma Yadav,
Now
we have introduced you. Yeah, we have introduced you because we love to introduce you, because we like your track record. You are a woman to reckon with. And you give so much to the country, especially to the higher educational institutions in the country. Thank you so much. Next time, we hope to have you here in Mizoram. Now it is raining. In Mizoram, it is probably about 18 degrees. We are taking out our shawl and wearing that. Yeah. But it is. Isn't that great? We are in different weather, but we are tackling the same, the same concept, the same, internationalization that we are trying so hard with your guidance.
Thank you so much.
Over to you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Yeah. For these lovely words and such warmth, which you've always shown. And we're there because of you, really. So besides the names that I've taken, of course, Professor Fente remain the chair and the director, Office for International Affairs, the department or the center behind it, all deans of the university, directors, heads of the department, faculty colleagues, invited guests, media persons, if any, officers from the state government, delegates, researchers, scholars, and very dear students, if they are there. Greetings from Central University of Haryana and UGC New Delhi. A very good afternoon. I'm sure you all had good lunch, sumptuous lunch, but don't sleep off, please. And my namaskar to you all. It's a pleasure to be part of this symposium, which I'm sure has been planned very, very diligently. And Professor Pente has really worked hard to put so many people together. My compliments to the university, its leader, the Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Deka, and of course the dynamic director of the Office of International Affairs, which is most important for internationalization, Professor Pente. And all those whose names I can see here, but I, of course, will not take all the names because that's not possible. We already, I think, have to pitch in between. I would just like to, divide my address to you or presentation to you in three parts. The first is why internationalization. Second is how internationalization or what is internationalization. And third is how do we go about. And I think that's what we really have to work on. So why is that Indian higher education is one of the largest in the world? That's very important point. And it is striving significantly now and very diligently to be among the world's best. So if it is the world's best or trying to be the world's best, naturally, we have hopes that the world will also come to us. And we want to prepare for that. So, and I'm happy that Indian Council of Cultural Relations, Mr. Monash Singh is representing. Wonderful to see you. And they are the hyphen, they link universities with the other countries and the embassies. So you really have worked hard, Professor Pente. You've got the right people here. As we really believe that the elite-oriented higher education, which were there before, originally, are now widening their horizon to have the masses and also the masses from the globe or the world around. So the purpose is that we must be able to address the diversities and the inclusiveness in expansion of higher education, which is now, of course, expanding at a very fast pace. This is also a period of transition for Indian higher education towards a global destination or a globally coveted destination and information society and a new social and economic world order. And information age is also known as knowledge age, and the universities have to produce knowledge, and the knowledge can be produced well if we have the inclusion and we also have the diversities, because that knowledge would really be the real knowledge or perfect knowledge as we like that to be. And the government of India is striving very hard to make India a knowledge. I don't like the word superpower. Of course, that word has been used, but not in terms of power, but a knowledge, I would say a knowledge store, in fact, which can be shared with others. And every aspect of the higher education system at present is being reorganized, transformed, and changed, be it funding, be it leadership, be it quality, be it accountability, be it management, be it teaching and research, and of course, internationalization, which is the latest dimension and which is a very important dimension. So usually internationalization has been used as a buzzword, every university, every government office, every, policy talks about it. But it is important now for socio-political development of international community. And we are living in a global village, as we say. And therefore, it becomes even more important. So internationalization of higher education is the process of integrating Indian higher education with international and intercultural dimensions. That is the crux of it. And it is, of course, not new. If we go back to Indian history, then we go back to 7th century BC, and Takshila attracted more than 10,000 students from around the world. So that is the background, or that is the history or legacy, which we must always remember, because that will give us power. That will give us the courage to move forward. And we also had the University at Nalanda, which attracted scholars, established scholars, again from many parts of the globe. Presently now, India is reinventing itself, reinvigorating itself to emerge as higher education destination in the 21st century. And we said two things about 21st century. Then the 21st century is going to be women's century. And I can see women power around in terms of maybe Professor Pente, Dr. Ashana Thakur, and I can see so many names. Don't mind it, Moneshji. I'm sure you will agree with me, or Kuldeepji. Yes, thank you. And the other is that India is emerging as a destination for higher education or Vishwaguru. We can't call ourselves the Vishwaguru. The world has to call that. So we have to work towards that we are able to provide such quality education. The world gets attracted towards India, and that is the purpose of internationalization of higher education, for which we really have to work hard, because we have to enhance our quality, improve our quality, work towards excellence. We also then have to increase or enhance our global outreach so that we become a brand or we become a known place or known destination. And that also remains an essential element of the development of India's research and innovation. Because if we have global partnerships, I'm sure innovations will not be far off. They'll be within our reach. And that is also the purpose. We also have to improve our institutional rankings for that, because naturally the globe or the world will be attracted towards better ranked institutions. And also that can happen when we improve our quality of teaching, research, learning, and combination of all these, because the knowledge is produced when we combine all these, in fact. So the Indian higher education institutions earlier were not being ranked, or they didn't even go for international rankings. That's why we didn't have people around. And it's almost like 15 years back when I was Pro-Vice Chancellor IGNOU, and I had gone to China's Open University, and I told them that, look, we had never worried about rankings because we already have enough students. We can't even take them all. We always have to choose out of them, the public universities especially. So we didn't bother. But if India comes for ranking, the legacy was also different, because in India, education was not a commercial venture. Vidya was basically a cultural or transfer of knowledge, which was not in fact fee-based, but service-based. So we didn't go for rankings, but I said when India starts to go for rankings, the best institutions will surely be in India. And I really wish that we work towards that. And I wish Mizoram University all the best, because you're located at a very beautiful place, and very beautiful, not only beautiful, but beautiful brains are working there. And so you can really emerge as one of the coveted institutions. Now, already when we started to go for rankings, already we have made our presence or mark in the global best universities. About 10 universities figure in the global best 500, because we are just new. We've just started it. I'm very sure we'll find place there according to QS ranking, and at least 50 Indian universities have the potential to reach the global best ranking with appropriate support. So we must look at that. It's not the government that I'm talking to, otherwise I'll say ICCR also and UGC also just have to support these institutions so that they become the best. Why internationalization? Because it is a catalyst and an opportunity for Indian universities to improve themselves, to be able to meet the global knowledge society needs, and also to be evaluated in the global perspective. Another aspect of global outreach is multiple or bilateral or multilateral partnerships. I think Dr. Archana Thakur talked about it. I'm sure Dr. Kuldeep Dagar must have talked about it, because the countries engage themselves in higher education dialogue focused on student and faculty exchange and mobility, institutional collaborations, vocational exchange, training, technical and professional know-how being exchanged or developed or evolved together, and also philanthropy in higher education. So, to take the collaboration further, we must promote strategic institutional partnerships for strengthening and expanding the collaboration in the areas of priority or which are strength areas. This is required. Further, partnerships in the areas of vocational education and skill enhancement, because India is rich in skills. And I think we must keep it in mind. Every locality, every village, every town of India has a very rich legacy of skills. Even if the foreign, rule for years and years tried to kill them, they have not really been vanished or completely finished. We must revive them, provide them support, and provide them face also. So this skill enhancement must be really enhanced and strengthened. Strengthening of students and faculty enrichment and mobility to promote or develop human resources or human beings as such is essential for the overall quality of upgradation and internationalization of higher education. I can say with my experience as the Vice Chancellor of this university that whenever we go outside, the universities are interested in some strong areas. Computer science remains one strong area. The skills and culture remains one strong area with us. Folklore, folk dances, folk music, folk art, they remain very, very beautiful areas where the global students would like to join us. We must be able to identify them and, finally promote them and hone them. So, in fact, the main aim of this internationalization project is to promote India as a global study destination and having large number of international students studying in India. But for that, we must provide greater mobility to Indian students to visit, study, research, and transfer credits with institutions abroad and vice versa. UGC is coming out with regulations which facilitate all this, and I'm sure the universities will be able to really gain from these kinds of efforts which the UGC has put in. We must also be able to find what is our strength, which courses would be opted by international students. So, courses and programs in subjects such as Indology, Indian languages, Ayush, or Indian system of medicine, yoga, arts, music, history, culture, and of course, the modern Indian evolution. They are the key areas of interest for most of the Indian students and most of the international students. And we also must have internationally relevant curricula in sciences, social sciences, and beyond, so that the international students do not have any problem. The universities, but I'll come to that later. Let me finish first. Why? So we must take care of access, quality, standards, finances, and human resources regulation, etc. And the motivation for internationalization for India lies not merely in commercial advantage. Of course, that remains one very important aspect, but also creation of knowledge, acquisition of language skills, enhancing the curriculum with international content through specific initiatives such as branch campuses, cross-border collaborative management program for international students, etc. And you can add on to these as per the expertise of the university or the strength of the university. The focus should be on how global resources can be attracted and utilized to build capacity, increase access, enhance quality, and encourage diversity with lesser focus on commercial opportunities. They'll, of course, naturally come. They will follow suit if we do that, and it always will generate that. So the drive towards global outreach of higher education in India needs to be systematically implemented. Then only it will be rightly strengthened also. NEP 2020 has provided us a very good opportunity to to go in for this global outreach or internationalization. And we must follow that, what NEP 2020 talks about. If we talk about now, the present scenario, the principal manifestation of internationalization in the present scenario is student mobility, basically. India is currently drawing students from, I'm sure Mr. Monash Singh will give maybe better data than me because they're handling them. But whatever data I could have is, we are drawing students from neighboring countries much more, like Nepal, Sri Lanka, Afghanistan, UAE, Ethiopia, Saudi Arabia, and many others like that. Students from low-wage countries often seek cross-border higher education. And it's very natural. Our students go to the West because they also seek job there. So the neighboring countries who are not better than us send their students, or students come here so that they can also seek job. And we all must remember that jobs are attached with the attraction for education, because education in modern times is not merely seeking knowledge, but also seeking the right kind of vocation, the right kind of occupation, and the right kind of job. We must keep that in mind. And if we look at the All India Higher Education Survey of 2018-19, maybe Manish ji can share latest one. The total number of international students hosted by India was 47,427, which is not a very high number for looking at India's, larger landscape. And out of them also, highest share of students come from neighboring countries, which Nepal contributes the highest, 26.88%. We don't even say Nepal is a different country, because we have taken them as, a very much close nation for us. Don't even need passports. Visa can suffice, or visa also is not required. So they are a very, very friendly place. But followed by Afghanistan, 9.8%, Bangladesh, 4.38%, Sudan, 4%, Bhutan, 3.82%, etc., etc. I leave the percentage. And the largest number is for undergraduate courses. That is, almost 77% or 78% students come to the undergraduate courses. I think these data must be kept in mind by the Office of International Affairs when you design courses, because then only you'll be able to really make a concrete plan, or really have an outcome-oriented plan, in fact. The majority of this and the outward mobility, which is almost like 10.9 lakhs of students from India, which is a very huge number, as per the data by Ministry of External Affairs, is towards destinations like USA, Australia, UK, Canada, New Zealand, France, and Germany. The recent trend suggests addition of few more destinations such as China, Singapore, Malaysia, UAE, etc. But this can be now kind of a double way traffic. So if we are able to have universities which are branded, which have good institutional rankings, which have good quality education, research and learning, then, and infrastructure also, of course, then I think we can attract students from these. And that remains the target for the government of India, that we have students from these countries. Manish ji would well know, and I'm sure Professor Fente must be knowing, the Ministry of External Affairs and ICCR also have been trying to attract the new generation of countries where the Indian population migrated earlier, because they have a fascination for India, a country of their parents, their forefathers. That should, of course, be enriched, but attracting younger generations from the developed countries where they really want peace and ananda, as we call it. Ananda is not anywhere else, it's in India. So we can attract students towards that, a blissful state of being happy, which can be provided by a combination of Ayush and yoga, or in fact, the art, culture, etc., which is part of our very strong legacy. And I wish you can focus on that. Then the international collaborations I've already talked about, but UGC has come up with the regulations. UGC promotion and maintenance of standards of academic collaboration between Indian and foreign educational institutions. These regulations came up in 2016, and we are fine tuning them, or renewing them also, looking at the requirement of the today's time. These regulations aimed at increasing synergy between Indian and foreign universities or academic institutions, and to offer students additional choices so that the curriculum could be improved, we could have a better delivery of knowledge and educational content. And they also specified eligibility criteria, laid out methods and scope of collaboration. So I'm sure every Office of International Affairs must look at these regulations before you go into institutional collaborations or internationalization. There is also the Global Initiative of Academic Networks, or GYAN as we call it, which aims at tapping the talent pool of scientists and entrepreneurs internationally to encourage their engagement with institutes of higher education in India so as to elevate India's scientific and technological capacity to global excellence. So areas of study in this GYAN initiative covered are architecture, natural sciences, social sciences, humanities, management, and various interdisciplinary courses or programs which are offered by various universities. And I think universities must aim at that. The aim is to create avenues for possible collaborative research with the international faculty, providing opportunity for the students of different institutions or universities to interact and learn their subjects in niche areas through collaborative learning processes. Under this program, the international faculty is proposed to conduct or allowed to conduct 1 to 2 weeks courses at an Indian institution or university, and already 1,100 foreign faculty and industry experts from 53 countries have participated to deliver GYAN courses. I'm sure the universities can take advantage of that, and this number is going to increase over the years. Then there is a Study in India program, which I was referring to, and ICCR knows very well. This is a Government of India initiative to increase the inflow of inbound international students to India. The initiative aims at systematic brand building, marketing, social media, and digital marketing to increase the inbound students by 3 times. That is the aim. We can even go 4 times or 5 times or 6 times, if we can really succeed in that. To fulfill India's aspirations of becoming one of the top 20 destinations for international students, a comprehensive strategy has been developed, whose aim will be to elevate India's position in the global education landscape by hosting 1.5 lakhs international students every year. By 2023, this was supposed to be, I don't know, Manish ji will tell us where have we reached and how much we also have to travel. But I think it's a good direction, and the universities must try to work towards this aim. A centralized admission web portal partnering with 100 plus premier colleges of the country and also institutes like IITs, NITs, and central universities has been developed for this. And the initiative also included fee waiver and the general scholarship scheme of the ICCR to attract foreign students. Students from certain Asian, African, and Latin American countries are also covered in this scheme. Children of overseas Indians, people of Indian origin, and non-resident Indians were also targeted with scholarship program for diaspora children. I'm sure Manish ji will tell more details about this. I hope I am not crossing my time limits, Professor Pente. Just let me know. Then we also have a scheme which is called Institutions of Eminence. This is an effort by Government of India to drive internationalization with a focus on bettering the world rankings of its universities, and it has paid off with leading universities moving up the ranking, though none has yet broken into the top 100, but I'm sure soon enough they'll come into the top 100. And of course top 500 in the coming 10 years time. So one such scheme is the Institution of Eminence, wherein the Government of India will they have already identified 10 public and 10 private higher education institutions to emerge as the world-class institutions. And these institutions then are expected to focus on multidisciplinary, interdisciplinary, high quality, high-end research, and they will also have a lot of academic, administrative, and financial autonomy. So these 20 institutions have already been identified by the UGC or the Government of India, and the results will be visible in few years. Of course, naturally, it has to take some time. So they will have a lot of flexibility in the course structure, and they can even recruit foreign faculty and admit foreign students and offer online courses. So I think universities like Mizoram must target or must aim at becoming one of these institutions of eminence, because that will give you maneuverability, more flexibility to plan your courses. There is also the Scheme for Promotion of Academic and Research Collaboration, the SPARC, as we call it. And this scheme wishes to or tries to facilitate research and academic collaborations with the top institutions in the world. The government has decided that it will fund research collaborations between Indian institutions which are in the top hundreds of other subject-specific NIRF ranking or aggregate NIRF ranking on one hand, with foreign institutions figuring in the top 500 QS world ranking. And this is short name is SPARC, which also gets along with Study in India program. I think the details will be shared by Monash, and you can look at the website also. UGC also talks about bilateral initiatives in internationalization. The collaborative programs are supposed to be with countries like US, UK, Norway, Hungary, Israel, Germany, etc., with the aim to enhance strategic partnership in the field of education and to facilitate teachers and research scholars to realize their research potential. These areas may include activities like joint research programs, postdoctoral fellowships, project-based exchange programs, and scholarship for students around. NEP 2020 and internationalization is something which is, a very, very crucial and important, because NEP 2020 is built on the foundational pillars of access, equity, quality, affordability, and accountability. So it recommends path-breaking reforms, and they work towards internationalization because the policy extensively focuses on attaining the highest global standards in quality of higher education. And if we are able to do that, we will surely be able to attract greater number of international students and achieve the goal of internationalization at home. And you can look at the policy. The NEP calls for promoting India as a global study destination, promoting courses which are our strengths, meaningful opportunities for social engagement and quality residential facilities and campus support, and of course, facilitating meaningful research, high-end research and teaching collaborations, credits transfers, international students office at each higher education institution hosting foreign students, setting up campuses by high-performing Indian universities in other countries and vice versa. And to implement the NEP 2020, an expert group for NEP implementation was created by Government of India. Fortunately, and I would say yes, I was the chair of that group, and the group deliberated amongst themselves. It also shared with a huge number of stakeholders, and then it identified after the stakeholders consultation and of course discussions amongst us, in a vision, mission, and certain goals. The vision, according to this group, was envisaging India as a global study destination offering quality higher education of international standards in frontier areas of academics and research, and promoting India's prestige and role as Vishwaguru. And the goals, the mission could be making India a global study destination and promoting India's prestige with offering quality higher education and international standards, in fact. So there were 6 goals which were identified. I will just take out those goals. The first goal was to promote internationalization of higher education in India. Second was to enhance inward mobility of foreign students. The third was to improve global outreach, to attract global academic talent for teaching and research in India. Fourth was to improve global outreach of Indian higher education institutions through institutional and program mobility and collaboration. Fifth was to attract and retain students who wish to pursue higher studies abroad. And the sixth and one very important goal was to shape our learners as global citizens. Our Honorable Prime Minister usually says that we must believe, or we've been really believing for years and centuries, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, that the entire globe is our family. So if we have to do that, we must also make our learners ready for taking the role of global citizens, which requires a lot of understanding, a lot of flexibility, and a lot of responsibility also. So then some key initiatives for these goals were also mentioned, but I think I've taken almost like 30 minutes. I can't wait, Mr. Monash Singh, for long. Of course, he's also sitting in his office, it seems, like me in Delhi. So, but still, we would like to listen to him also. Then there are certain key initiatives planned with these goals. Maybe some other time we'll go into the details of that, where the government of India has to work, but where the institution of higher learning or higher education also have to work. They will be our focus areas, in fact. And if the universities work in that, then I'm sure the day will not be far off when the world will try to come to India, the various higher education institutions, to learn what has been our strength over the years, which has sustained us over the years. I would say sustainable living, sustainable development, and happy living can be taught by India to the world. And ultimately, happiness remains elusive for the world, and happiness remains the aim and target of every human being. So let us promote this and work towards this direction. I would once again thank Professor Pente. I'll also thank Honorable Vice Chancellor of Mizoram University and all of you who have spared time to listen to me. My best wishes, Professor Pente, and I wish we are able really to fulfill our vision and mission as early as possible. Thank you very much. Namaskar.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. That is why we waited 1 year for you to have this program. Next time, we will try to do, on-site with you, with, you there on the podium and with, a whole lot of questions, because we are really, really trying hard this side,
Thank you.
part in internationalization of higher educational institutions.
Yes. Thank you. And call ICC.
And here we have, yes, and we have Professor Diwakar Tiwari, who is the director of IQAC, Internal Quality Assurance Cell. He's taking us through to our next cycle of NAC accreditation. We hope to get A++++. And of course, we are we are in NIRF ranking 75th. And he's also going to talk a little bit about the NIRF ranking because it is important for our colleges also. Our constituent college, Patsoga University College, has a very good ranking, even higher ranking than the Mizoram University itself, although it is a constituent part of the university. So we have all the principals, the students, the scholars, the college teachers and university teachers, associate professors, all of them listening to you. And we will be putting up this on our university MZU. Actually, what's going on live, on the MZU YouTube. However, because it's raining, it suddenly started raining since morning, and so a whole lot of technical hitches here. So we will be putting up your talks and all the talks there so that a wider people across the world can learn from our program today, and successful only because of you all. Thank you so much, ma'am, once again.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And all my best wishes, but and call Monash Singh ji also next time, right?
Yes, definitely. We will all be together in Mizoram campus.
Oh,
Yeah,
lovely.
and enjoy our fresh air.
Yes. We need it badly.
Thank you.
Very bad. Delhi's bad.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I am saying the thank you on behalf of Professor Diwakar Tiwari, who wishes to thank you all so much, but you guys cannot hear him. There he is, Professor Diwakar Tiwari. He's our IQAC guy. Yeah, he's the director there. Yes, and they will be calling because the people in the hall are able to hear everything else. So I will hand it over to Professor Diwakar Tiwari. They will be calling Monash sir, as well as his introduction will take place. I can hear them, but you cannot hear them. So that is why so I need to monitor, go across. All right. Yeah. Thank you so much. We are running late. I know I can see Miss Alinari Lianlong. She has joined us from Geneva in Europe. However, it was time for her already. She's been staying up. However, because of all these technical glitches, we need to delay the program. But she's patiently waiting for us. So now, in the hall, Professor Diwakar, passing on the stage to Professor Diwakar Tiwari and Dr. Emmeline. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now I request the next speaker, Sri N. Munish Singh, Journal Director, is at Indian Council for Cultural Relations, ICCR. So I request, please go ahead.
Honorable Vice Chancellor of the Mizoram University, Professor Dibakar Chandra Deka, and the Chairperson, Professor Diwakar Tiwari, Director, International Quality Assurance Committee, Mizoram University. Then my dear friend, Professor Fente, who is the Director of the International Affairs MZU, and the fellow panel members, Sri Kuldeep Dagar, Joint Secretary, Association of Indian University, AIU, Dr. Archana Thakur, Joint Secretary, University Grant Commission, and Ms. Alinari Lianlong from Oxford, UK. I'm very much delighted that MZU has invited me to the International Symposium on Internationalization of higher educational institutions at home and at abroad. So, Mizoram University is, of course, one of my favorite place to visit because of their warm hospitality. Number one, I visited for the first time, I think, in the year 2000, around 2012, and I was very much impressed with the infrastructure that Mizoram University had that time, and then very much I was convinced that when the foreign students comes over and stay there, it will be more, they will be so enjoying the picturesque beauty of the hills and the Mizoram and all around and the people like that. So it gradually started like that, and through Professor Fente, we could admit our foreign students under ICCR, and then I'm very happy that Mr. Abdel Ghani Abdel Guma from Sudan has passed his masters, and then he was so impressed with the Mizoram University that he further on is pursuing his PhD. This is a good example.
If I may just butt in here.
Hello.
If I may just butt in here.
Yes, ma'am.
All the ICCR students that you have sent us, they are here in the hall listening to you. They're looking at you in the hall.
Okay.
They're
I'm
listening to you now.
I'm so happy.
ICCR students that you have sent from Africa. Yeah. Okay.
I'm so happy that they are in the hall, and that my greetings to all of you, all the 6 students who got admitted there, and I hope you all are happy under the guardianship of Professor Fente and the other team members. So this itself shows the first thing, I think, when we say, as per the title of the symposium, at home and abroad. ICCR comes more on at home, and then this at home, the basic things are, I believe, very important to attract our foreign students. So basic things, basic amenities, are very much vital. So when a foreign student comes, obviously any students coming from any part of the world through any of the ICCR schemes, when they join a particular university in certain part of India, then you tend to have this cultural shock. The first thing that they face is the cultural shock, which needs to be subdued, which needs to be normalized, and they adapt the environment in the area, and they feel home, and then they don't miss their home country, and they enjoy each day of their stay in the university. That part is the basic thing, which is very important for us to ensure also that this kind of environment we create, and then with the students coming, so then it will follow on. The university, the add-on will carry on. So with the perfect example of Mr. Abdul Ghani Guma, I think following him, I have seen that many students have joined because of the good report, because of the good environment of Mizoram University. So it's a very commendable thing, and my best wishes to Mizoram University, and I believe we can bring further, all the more students in near future, also in the coming academic year also, because Mizoram University also fits in with the criteria in which ICCR could send the students, foreign students, to the university, like within the 100 ranking of NIRF, and then A grade of NAC, which is very important basic needs. and both are being fit for the Mizoram University. MZU has covered both, and then in near future we try to we will send more students. Speaking about ICTR, Indian Council for Cultural Relations, under the Ministry of External Affairs, we are in a year we are having around 6,000 plus foreign scholars in different parts of India, in central universities, institutes, and then NITs and the agricultural institutes. Everywhere we send our students, and then it's like 6,000, plus students every academic year. Foreign students join, and we have around 21 schemes, because all the students from different countries they join our scholarship under different scholarship schemes. We have around 21 schemes, of under Government of India scholarship scheme, which we provide to foreign students from different countries, and around 180 as of now, around 180 countries from the students are studying in India, in various parts of the India, in most of the ICTR panel, the universities and the colleges, like that. So these schemes have got different slots of students who can join from their respective countries. So one of the most general category we can say that any student can join from any part of the world is the scheme that we have is the Atal Bihari Vajpayee General Scholarship Scheme, ICTR. We formerly call it General Scholarship Scheme, which has now been introduced as Atal Bihari Vajpayee General Scholarship Scheme, and it covers many countries like Denmark, Ecuador, Greece, Iran, Iraq, Kyrgyzstan, Latvia. So many countries are could be covered from with this scheme, and then we have a country-wise scheme, where the there are certain slots from a particular country, a number of students who can join according to that scheme. Like with Bangladesh, we have started Suborno Jayanti scholarship scheme, or we have APJ, Dr. APJ Kalam Commonwealth scholarship scheme, and then we have Nehru Memorial Scheme, then we have Dr. Radha Krishna Cultural Exchange Scholarship Scheme, like that. So recently also we have introduced some schemes in the field of art and culture and music also, like Lata Mangeshkar Dance and Music Scholarship Scheme. And then with Nepal, we have Silver Jubilee Scholarship Scheme. With the Africa countries in Africa, we have Africa Scholarship Scheme. And then we have aid to Bhutan, aid to Maldives, aid to Mongolia, Mekong Ganga, with countries like Cambodia, Laos, Myanmar, Thailand, and Vietnam, like that. So, and above that, we have a special Afghan National Scholarship Scheme also. And further on, to let the foreign students study the Indian Ayurveda and the homeopathy, we have Ayush Scholarship Scheme, under BIMSTEC countries like Bangladesh, Bhutan, Myanmar, Nepal, Sri Lanka, Thailand, where they can study Ayurveda, yoga, naturopathy, Unani, Siddha, and homeopathy, like that. So these are the various schemes from which students from all around the country, all around the world can join. So accordingly, slots are there. Like we have, let's say, for Africa Scholarship Scheme, we have 908 students that they can apply every year. Then we have Afghan scholars with 1,000, like that. So these slots are being divided to different schemes where the students from different countries can join. So this is the part of the scheme that I'm saying, I'm explaining you. Second is the way students can apply. So here involves our missions, Indian missions, that is the embassies, Indian embassies of the respective country and education attaché are involved in bringing in students from that particular country. So the scheme is being introduced in that particular country from where one can apply directly. Now, what students can apply directly to the universities also, and there is a scrutiny being done by our missions, Indian missions abroad, and then further it has been coordinated through our A2A portal, and then the university criteria and the admission of the students and the eligibility criteria, everything has to be from the from the side of the university, and the choice of the university is fully depend on the student, and the acceptance also once he or she gets the admission, like that. So in this, ICCR has come up last year with an app so that easily anyone can apply from anywhere. It's a mobile app. We call it Gyan Setu. Gyan Setu, Hindi, English, it means the knowledge bridge. So through this Gyan Setu, now ICCR is working out everything through Gyan Setu. So Gyan Setu is a mobile app that a student, a foreign student, can download any part of around the world, and then they can directly just apply for getting admission to any of the courses or any of the university they want to join, like that. So this is a wonderful step for on digitalization of the admission procedure, like that. So our zonal offices are always there to see that the admission procedure and everything goes on smoothly through the university and through the mission and through the students themselves and their arrival and all kind of things. So apart from this, there are the attraction of the particular university, how the students will be knowing that the particular university is good or particular university they want to join, like that. In that, our portal is quite important, where we provide the details of the university, their ranking, and the certain departments and all kind of things we provide. And in certain universities, they used to showcase a video footage of the university with all the infrastructure that they have. It could be showcased. So likewise, we need to promote the universities also, so that most of the student doesn't think that India is just Delhi or Pune or Bangalore, like that. Beyond that, we have beautiful places and beautiful universities like Mizoram University in Northeast India, and then we have our Northeastern Hill University also, where we have a good facilities and maximum number of students, like that, and we have IIT. So all this promotion from the universities is also very important. And normally, apart from this, I believe that Northeast, we are the best in the hospitality. We are the best in the weather, the climate, and the first thing that the foreign students face problem when they come to India to join and to study is uh, to the communication problem, you know. So in most part of India, where there is more of a local language than English, then it's become difficult for the students to join or to to further continue their education in the class. So which is not there in Northeast, you know. And our command in English and communication is really helpful for our foreign students to gel well, you know, with the local environment. And then here to everyone speaks English, so the students they can really have a good time, and then in terms of communications and other things, you know. And I believe hostel the hostel facility of of certain level has to be there for our foreign students, because basically when mainly the food that we give them or like that is the main issue for the foreign students when they come to India, because the food that we eat and we think that it is good for us, maybe not gelling well with them, maybe too spicy for them or like that. So mostly we advise that certain hostels should have a pantry kitchen where one can prepare their own if they are not adapting the local food. But I think our students, our ICCR students in Mizoram University must be enjoying Mizo food, because Mizo food is very tasty, less spicy. So I believe they can really enjoy that. So these basic things are very important to attract the students. That is, food, the place of stay, according to their own certain this thing where they can have a good place, because they are leaving their home country far off and coming to a place to stay for 3 years, 4 years. So for them, that place is very important. For them, another 2, 3 years, 4 years, they're going to spend their time there. So it's every basic amenities that is needed, could be provided to them. Then I believe that there will be more add-on in the students, and then in the near future also we can increase the number. My dream is to bring in more and more students. In the MZU, one day I believe it should be 100 plus students very soon, like that. So we wanted to make it on that line. And I would also want to inform that, we can, every year on 11th November, it's the birth anniversary of the first, our ICCR President, Dr. Maulana Abul Kalam. So he on his birthday we are having this International Students Day. So International Students Day could be celebrated with our students involving and showcasing some culture of their country, and then and having a cultural exchange with local students as well as their side of the culture also. It's a big chance for us to let them also see that the local culture and the history also through different means. And then I have seen the MZU auditorium. It's a world-class auditorium, beautiful auditorium that I've seen. So many good cultural activities could be done there. And in fact, ICCR would also like to host some cultural event there in near future, where we can invite all our foreign students and let them perform also, and also our rich culture, local rich culture, cultural, performances like the Chero dance and other things. So apart from their study, my point is it is very important to also inculcate the local history, local culture, and they can invite with, and then further on carry on with them in their country. That is also one effort, because the effort of ICCR is more of a soft politics. It's not just about giving scholarship. It's about having a relationship with those countries from where the students are. You'll be happy to know that we have students who have become, a premier head of their countries, like places like Mauritius, and then we have, Suriname and other places where they have come to the highest post in their country in the future. So, and even the former president of Afghanistan, Hamid Karzai, was an ICCR student. So this is a long-term relationship, that we have to carry on and ensure that they leave India with best of their memories and a friend of India, which continues all the lifetime like that. So these basic things, I'm very happy that Mizoram University is really doing their best in this relation and then internationalization, the right name given. So I believe that further on we can continue this more. So there are many things to say, but in my next, maybe in the next, occasion, I will do that. For today, I will wind up here. My best wishes to MZU for organizing such a wonderful symposium on internationalization on higher education institutes at home and abroad. Thank you so much.
Thank you, madam. So, thank you, Munish sir, for giving wonderful lecture. And then the next speaker is Srimati Eleanor Rees. He is joining from the Oxford, UK. So, madam,
now I have been informed that Miss Eleanor Riadlong can start her talk. We are so eager to hear you. We wish to see you very soon here in Mizoram University, in Mizo. Our star you are. So please go ahead.
Thank you so much. It's afternoon, it's super morning for here. As the previous speaker has mentioned, this concept has happened since last year. And it is also very looking forward. I think I really enjoy spending the time with the students, and I feel really bad that I cannot be there in person, but one cannot be there everywhere we want. Unfortunately, we had our session at the Human Rights Council till yesterday evening, so there's no way I could fly back beyond time, even though how much I wanted to have interaction with the students and also all the distinguished speaker, the Vice Chancellor and Professor Dinpui. Without you, this would not have been happened. And I think I wanted to thank everyone, and especially the students, for waiting for this. Of course, there's sometimes technical issues happen, but once you are there, just be there for the whole and have your heart be open to it. And I think it's usually come out good than we expect. So without further ado, I would try to have my sharing in a way that, one, because everybody else has talked about how are we bringing students internalizations into India. So my side of the story will be how from India to abroad. So, and then I'll speak about my own personal journey as how I started my educations from a local primary school to Mizoram, India, and to ended up in the UK and around the world. And then also how we have tried so far with trying to bring as many young students outside abroad, not only on educations, but also on opportunity exchange program and a place like in the UN. So I'll try to split that. And if anyone else you have questions you want to send it to, I think Professor Dipi could collect them. If time allow us, I'll try to respond some. If not, we'll try to channel those informations later in the day. So some of you might know me. My name is Elinary Lemilne Lian Long. I am from Sangao, which is in the southernmost town of Mizoram, very close to Pongpui Cloud, so the Blue Mountain. We come from above the clouds. Morning is always an inspiration because I get up in the morning and the clouds are beneath me, and I feel like I'm a little bit closer to God, to the Creator, the creation. And so in my personal case, I studied at one of the most local primary school. So without no proper school, of course there was private school as well, but we could only afford the normal local school medium. However, one thing that I also wanted to emphasize is that whether it's local or public or private, our mode of education, the very essence of subjects such as science, maths, whether you are in public school or private school, I think a lot of our teachers in Mizoram are very good at, especially when it comes to science and science, technology, and maths. So I think I grasped that understanding even as I was in a very local school. However, when it comes to like speaking English, understanding, exploring into other sector of subjects, I think it's a little bit limiting. So I studied up to grade 9 in Sangao High School, where I wasn't even able to speak a word or introduce myself in English. And the grammar of how we understand, we're not very good at that very level as well. But I think my understanding the core of subject into science and maths, also like in Mizo, were quite good, and it was integral part of the education whether you go anywhere. So I think I want to thankful for the education system, whether it's a very local and remote area. I think if we have one good teacher, whether you pick any village, any town in Mizoram, you will find one good teacher who do everything in their power, in their capacity to get you understand the grasp and understanding of any subject they are teaching. So I'm very grateful for my teachers back home. So I did, because I wasn't able to speak, and then, this very concept of if you're good, you study science for your higher secondary school. If not so much, commerce, and then maybe arts. And computer science is considered almost like a vocational subject at that time, even though right now it is so crucial. And I think I'll also elaborate a little bit on computer science and the technical ICT side of it. So I was very scared that I would not be able to get into science. So my dad sold a plot of land he had, sent me to a boarding school for class 10. And without, as a village girl, not knowing a word of English, I was able to learn and then get myself the speaking ability of being able to converse in English in like 2 to 3 months time. And then at the end of the year, I was able to get my passing the board at distinction level, getting some letters in subject. And then I went on to ISOL, doing my 11 and 12 in Mizo Higher Secondary School. There again, we have one of the best teachers, especially when it comes to physics, science, chemistry, biology, and maths. The way they understand, the way they have experience with that particular subject, I think it's a breathtaking. And also, I wanted to share that I felt on the first year for my 12th grade, because like everybody, our parents, not only our parents, ourselves, we are very, very competitive. So I wanted to take like maths and science together, botany and every subjects. And with my physical health, I wasn't able to. And this is also where I think it is so important at that stage. I don't know, because this is university. I think a lot of you will be either into a science stream or humanities, social science. Maybe some of you are in the stream at the moment that you might not actually enjoy or want, but this is what everybody else doing. Maybe this is your reason of doing it. If that is the case, I also want to say that changing your subject, jumping from one subject to another, understanding interdisciplinary of subject is also very, very crucial. So in my case, after I finished, so I failed the first year, And then I studied again. I was, of course, at the second year, I was at the top 10 as well. And then I went on to study outside of India at a university called Asian University for Women. It's a liberal arts curriculum, a Harvard-based, and I had no idea what liberal arts was. And in India, everybody as a science student, they wanted to become either a doctor or if not, engineer. And I went to Asian University to study an engineer, and I want to be an environmental science engineer, and there was no such subject. It was liberal arts. On the core, you could have ecology, geology, and all this hydrology and everything that aspect that revolves around environment. But as an environmental studies major student, I also had to study religion. I studied dramas, also a little bit of politics, and very, very importantly, mind and behavior, psychology. And at that time, I did not understand why, as a science student, I had to study all those subjects. But that come very, very handy in life, because the whole concept, I think, whether you are in the state or in the Delhi or in the Indian nation level, sometimes when you are very good at a particular subject, so say like science, or you become a scientist, but the world we live is a little bit bigger than that particular subject. We deal with society, especially when you come out of India, you have to interact with all different people of different society. There is cultural shock. People believe and act a certain way, influenced by either their belief, their culture, where they're coming from. And when you understand that on the interdisciplinary subject of understanding science, at the same time religion, dramas, theories, I would say linguistic, also, anything that evolves, that enhance your understanding and your ability to interact with each other is crucial. And I think I have seen that there's a little bit of change in the pattern of the curriculum in India, and also I think UGC is incorporating a little bit more into liberal arts, I think, which is crucial. And I think I would applaud to UGC and the overall, even at university level or college level in Mizoram to do that, because it is essential part of your growing and interacting and understanding. So I was at Asian University for 5 years. I was very lucky. It was a liberal arts and interdisciplinary approach of educations to me was very, very important and benefiting to my further studies when I did my master's abroad. And the reason why I wanted to emphasize is that a lot of the time right now we have had a lot of young students who are asking me how to come to UK, how to come to Oxford. And a lot of the time when we have few interactions, what we learn is that, yes, you might be super good with your maths, but if you lack other subjects in understanding, especially when it comes to like psychology, mind behavior, understanding of the world bigger, why people behave, why do you want to study here, what do you want to back to the country? So that kind of revolves around not only having one curriculum per se, but of understanding interdisciplinary courses. So I think that's the importance where it comes into to doing or to pursue further studies. So I then, after I did my undergrad at environmental science, I also went on as a second year. I went to this to do an intern, almost like an internship, a summer project to look at environmental impact on the very now famous Caledon multimodal transit transport project, which can never, complete. It has been more than 10 years. Even since I've stepped my research into it, it has been more than 10 years. And even the very reason why I'm in the UN is one of the project as well. A little bit not very much so at the time when I studied, but right now it's all to do with indigenous land, rights over land, business over land, and things like that. So this is why I wanted to add on why do you need to be open and to be able to change your subject or the fields you want to. So I went back to Mizoram to study environmental impact. When I look at how they dump the soil, how it disturb the ecosystem of the river around, the flora and fauna, how it disturbed them. Importantly, I also realized compensation problem. issues relating with human rights on the both sides of Myanmar and India. And then I wanted to know what is the big D. So in the name of development, we have experienced and see so many destructions, enforcement, encroachment of land, complete, how would I say, they might call integration, but to us, it's assimilations, especially in the border, cross-country, and also where the people in that area are tribal area, indigenous, minor in that particular area. The topic become very sensitive, and then it just really want to struck me to learn what is big D, what is development. So I went into World Bank, IMF, JICA, South Korea. I was there, Export-Import Bank of Korea. So I learned how a country from getting industrial revolutions into the service and to becoming one, and how do from an aid recipient country become a donor. So my experiences revolving big D development studies really make me also to the point where I look at my community and Mizoram at the bigger stage, and I realize that there are not many of us who understand, who are into good educations, good quality of education. And the thing that is happening to us, how important we are as the cornerstone in Northeast India. I think I need more young students to understand, to study international relations, development, international politics, geopolitics. So I become very, very passionate to be able to help one to become better. Like I wanted to want to build an army of independent, empowered young students so that we can take on to things happening to our very own society. Then the approach that I wanted to do is not a very top-down, not a big mega project, but a bottom-up approach, like helping one person to achieve and to have to be the best person. So while doing so, it is all part of my studies and myself revolving what I want to become, what I want to do in life, in the context of what is happening to my people, what is happening to my tribe, what is happening to my land. And then Rotun born, and then I went back to my university, and then I did a major in environmental science, but a minor in development studies. And then I studied all about all the big D, and then the small D and social entrepreneurship came out. And then I did my master. So 2015 I graduated. And 2017, after 2 years of having experiences to, like, say, a place like JICA, I was in Hong Kong, I was in Thailand, I was in different places doing conference, and then also program and partnership program with other institutions. And then when I did my master, this is also one I wanted to share with you that is important. When I did my master, I want to do development studies, so I applied to Oxford, Sussex, LSE, and while I was doing, before I come to UK, I also started a library project. The library project was, as I have mentioned, because if one person has all the access to educations with all the good teachers and professors and learn anything that we want, like anything that we could read, what proof it was I had was that when I was in, like, for example, or in JICA in Japan or anywhere in the world, be in a room with all different peoples from Ivy League, regardless of where they are. Every time when we have a debate when it comes to development subjects or any infrastructure projects or a failed solutions, a lot of would be like, depending on my understanding, depending on my book, according to this and this is going to work or not. But every time when it comes to me and my argument, I can always say that according to the book, the research, and with my own experience, this is going to succeed or fail. So that really allow your very experience of living not only in the third world, but also very underdeveloped region. Your very experience of living is a skill that nobody can take away. When you can articulate it well, you become a very local expert at a very international level. So I want everyone who are in the room to be able to harness that. But living in the developing countries, also in that context, can be a very big plus for your further studies and on to how you write your essays, how you modeled your interview questions when they ask you such questions. And when I did my master, before I did my master, we started a library project. So this is where we are giving back or paying forward. So because I don't want to come here alone, and the struggle that coming to UK was a lot, because I applied to like maybe 5 to 10 funding, full funding. It was very hard to get shortlisted to all of them. In fact, there were some scholarships, some university that provided 100% tuition, but they do not provide the rest. And me coming from a village, from a township, I don't have a house in Aizawl. I don't have, a brother or a sister who are government servant who could be my guarantor. So no bank that want to provide a loan to me. So I've gone to all the banks in Aizawl that I know, asking for the fund. It was not possible. So the only option that I had was to get a full scholarship. In order to get a full scholarship, and also a very, very exciting news is that even just as we speak, we have 2 pipelines. One just getting herself to do a PhD in Oxford University, who just had her master's, and we also have someone in the pipeline who just nailed his last shortlist candidate to get a shifting scholarship, all from Mizoram, hoping to come to the UK. The reason why I explain that is for a lot of us, especially in MZU, we are all not from a very very in financial family. So we struggle to get first admission, and importantly, the funding to come to one of the best universities in the world. So what is the step? What is the tips of getting that is, if you wanted to come to UK for next year, you need to spend almost half of the year thinking about it, looking into it, finalizing it. I also had just one video on YouTube, how to look out for the ranking, what subject you want, what is the top 5, what are the scholarship they have, what are the requirements, what needs to happen, and all sort of that. And because I was able to get the full scholarship for my master, MBA, so I got admission to all. I got admission to Oxford, LSE, and Sussex for development studies. And the development studies number 1 was Sussex University, Oxford number 2. And I also got scholarship to do a master MBA to Sussex. And at that time, I built one library. We're running out of the project money, but I realized that out of 600 schools we have, high school in Mizoram, not even 5% have the library. They were either a cost library or one library leveled with like nothing in it. So I'm very, very passionate about building, having a vision whereby we could build libraries, urban poor and rural communities. And Rotun Paid Forward was born as I was building the library. And then because I don't have any more money in my hand, I wanted to bring more library, and I also wanted to help more students. I came to Sussex to study MBA so that I understand the bigger picture of how resources are distributed around the world, how is the flow of finance, how is money being, grants are applied, and all of those things. So for me, it was a very, very short-lived, because the master was only 1 year. And also, this is also one thing that I want to share is that in India, we have a very good structure, as I have mentioned, when it comes to science and maths and the general subject. Not so much on the extracurricular activities, the networking, the way of writing, the conceptualizing of things to put into practice. So my very, very root of basic understanding was very good. I think I have seen a lot of students from Mizoram, they don't struggle at all when it comes to core subject. The only thing that they would struggle sometimes is the soft skills of, doing interview, getting to know people, working with other community outside of Mizoram, outside of India. How do you interact with all different races in the people in the whole world? How do you mingle with it? And how do you nurture also your identity? How do you develop yourself, and how do you become one? I think we kind of struggle a little bit because most of the time we either just stayed inside the state or within India, but not so much outside experience. So it is okay if you already had your first master to come and apply to do your second master. And I'll explain this a little bit towards the end. One thing that I wanted to emphasize on that is that, so Rotun Paid Forward, we started, and then the goal, the visions that we have, because when I come here to study in the UK on my own, the struggle was real, but it was also very, very fulfilling. And then when you realize that if I am well equipped with the resource that I need, a good professors, a teacher who believes in me, anyone can do anything that they envision for themselves. So we wanted to do the same and expand it to as many young students from Mizoram or the Northeast in general. So we had a mission, Road and Paid Forward, aimed to empower young people to reach their highest potential accomplishment. The main focus is on helping the young people find a purpose in life, to see there's much more beyond the world that they are now living in. And in order to fill that missions, we provide the online, offline library, and we also do a one-on-one consultation. This is where everybody come to me, writing to me, and I call them back, spending 30 to 1 hour to what they want to do, why do they choose the subject they want, and in return, what if they wanted to come to UK or to sometimes to US, what are the steps and why they have to why they particularly choose a subject based on what. You have to have your like 3 to 5 whys. If I wanted to study international relation, why? Well, because we have now refugee around the world everywhere, and in Mizoram become a very important cornerstone for the Act East policy, which is now also very interesting because we not only become a very important hotspot for the troubles around us, but Mizoram also can be a cornerstone for Indian economy. The reason why I'm saying cornerstone is if we have this Caledon project happening and the ship is coming into Mizoram, we're going to be a gateway of everything, all the business, all the infrastructure coming in, the export, import. So any young people who are interested in to become a Singapore of Northeast, we become very, very crucial to India on the business side of it, as well as the security and the border area. So there are so many subjects revolving around that. A student from Mizoram or a student from the Northeast could be very beneficial from it, and to have that experience elsewhere in the world. Like we never had an encounter big development as in we have some like maybe 1 or 2 World Bank road in JICA, but that is very tiny. The whole act is putting us into a very hot spot where a lot of industries, a lot of mega project, private, public are interested to coming into our state. And how do we become a stakeholder also as an expert, not only in theory, but also in practical. So all the future students of Mizoram MZU, you have a bright future, whether you study just in India, or if you want to do a second master or a PhD, or in Oxford, we call DPhil. If you wanted to come and elaborate and do a further study, the future is just for you. I was there 2018, I think, in Mizoram University, and the platform was organized by Student Union, and the president of that was here right now in the UK. So it's just between a year or two you having in your heart. And when I'm saying coming out of India, it's not only, yes, India is great, but come out, not to stay over, come out so that you go back to India, and then you enrich not only on the state but also on a national level. So I think this is also bringing home what we studied outside, so that we can help the people with us the more. So Road and Pay Forward, essentially what we do is we bring as many students we can to the UK especially, and I think right now we have more than 20 people who came to the UK for the past few years, also a lot of nurses. And then we also take students on an exchange program like the like of Asian Pacific Youth Exchange into Bangkok at the UN headquarters in the Southeast Asia, and also to South Korea. And right now also I just brought 2 wonderful women with me to the UN, so it's on Human Rights Council. And we are also planning to bring a lot of young students and youngs under 30s or 35 to a place like New York in the UN. So hopefully maybe if this year is not possible, maybe next year. But I think in the summer, we are hoping to go to South Korea as well. So MZU students are the majority of the applicants. And I love to see your applications, your enthusiastic understanding, wanting to know, wanting to explore. I think every one of you are so hungry for becoming better, hungry for opportunities, and being able to provide a little bit of that to what your university already provide is an humble service for me. So I'll kind of like conclude my my speech by saying that, but this is just because of the the time constraint. I cannot share everything I want, but this is where you get to have your own one-on-one consultation. You need to reach out to me, and I'll come back to you when I have time, usually on the weekend, and then we can have our one-on-one conversations to anything that you want, to either expand it to coming back or to bring it out to the country. Again, thank you so much for the opportunity. Professor Denpui, thank you very much. The Vice Chancellor and anyone who is out there that I cannot mention your name. It has been a great morning, even though I did not sleep yet, but I'll go get my nap. So thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Elina Brilliant Long. Elina really isn't it? Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much for sharing your experiences. And of course, we will get your address, Rotun, and the online help that you can give, especially when you are on the other side of the world, so that students can reach out to you, so that you can do more of the helping that you have always been doing for the Mizo people, the students. Yeah. So although this is an international symposium, we still tend to go there. It is very easy to think inward, but now even myself, I need to think internationally always. Yeah. So on behalf of Professor Tiwari, again, every time I have to do that, I'm so sorry, but this is what we have, and we are adaptable, and we are adapting to this situation. Yeah, thank you so much. Please have your beautiful nap, and we appreciate you so much.
So now the next speaker with us, she is here physically. So now I think my turn has come. So I can invite her, Srimati Megha Roy Chatterjee. She is from the United States India Educational Foundation. So, madam, please. So,
good afternoon, everyone. And it's really heartwarming to be here the entire day listening to the lovely speakers. In fact, when I get to speak after, this young lady from UK, it is all the more relevant to understand that internationalization is not just one way, it's a two-way process, and it's also observing the best practices from the educational institutions in our country within the country, and of course when you try and go abroad and study there and come back and give it back to your society. So as I was introduced, my name is Megha Roy Chatterjee. I am the Education USA Advisor responsible for East and Northeast India. And I come from an organization called the USIEF, which is United States India Educational Foundation. It's been, almost 75 years of its existence. And USIEF not only helps students in anything related to higher studies in the US, but it also manages the Fulbright Commission here in India. Have any one of you heard about the Fulbright Fellowships? Yes, so currently the Fulbright Fellowships are on. You can always go to the USIEF India website to check that. Now coming to the, higher studies in the US, of course you all are, you've either completed your undergrad or you're probably PhD students and research scholars. So at any point of time, if you need any assistance on anything related to higher studies in the US, please feel free to get in touch with us. Of course, if you are interested, I'll be around for some more time. You can collect our, contact details and get in touch with us. We are, of course, present in over 430 centers, in across 170 countries. And I'm coming from the office here in Kolkata. We have offices, in Mumbai, Delhi, Chennai, and in Hyderabad as well. So Education USA is the official State Department network that guides students on higher studies in the US. Now, when we have a question in mind these days, the first thing that we do is Google it, right? That's the first thing that we do. But the good part of it is we have all the information with us within a click. But the dark side of it is there's a lot of information available, and sometimes not all that you find there is true. So be rest assured that the information that you get from Education USA is going to be authentic. So now as Alanuri already mentioned that, any studying abroad program doesn't happen overnight. It involves a lot of time. Similarly, to a US application would also take almost a year and a half's time in advance. So if you want to start your classes in 2025, in 2024, August to December is the application process. So Education USA has brought out these 5 basic steps of application process. Of course, the first one is researching your options. It's very, very important to understand what is the best fit for yourself. There are over 4,000 US institutions, and to find the best fit for yourself is truly a challenge. The second is arranging for your finances, arranging for the funds or scholarships. So essentially, the US universities has a lot of scholarships available for international students. So if you are really thinking about it, please start researching about it. See what kind of scholarships historically the departments have been giving out. Now, talking about departmental scholarship, it is very important to understand that in US it's not that all the universities and all the departments would be similar. It could be possible that University A, say English department, can be very different from English department in University B. The funding would also vary. But in English department, University A probably can have less funding than the maths department in University A. So it is very important for you to find the right fit for yourself in terms of scholarship, in terms of the research opportunities, in terms of what kind of curriculum would suit your requirement the best. So once you have researched about your options, you've identified your budget. So even when you make a budget, you have to identify the cost of attendance, the cost that goes towards the university, and the cost that you incur through your personal expenses, the living costs. So accordingly, you prepare yourself for a budget. Now, here are also some of the pointers that you should keep in mind, like locations, housing policies. These are the things that can help you cut down your cost. And when you actually apply for scholarship, US degree can definitely be much more affordable. Once you do all these research for over a year and it's finally the application time, the application package involves a lot of subparts in it. So you have to, as international students, as you may already understand by now, it's very competitive in nature, right? So you have to really secure your seat. And how do you do that? The statement of purposes that you write, and that's your gateway to tell your story to the US universities, telling them that why exactly that you need that course, why exactly you need that scholarship. And of course, there are letters of recommendation given by your teachers which vouch for your credibility. So apart from these, there is also sometimes, if you're going for PhD studies or maybe postdoc studies, you might be asked to give writing samples, you might be taken interviews. So this kind of helps the university to understand what are your potential. Now, talking about potential, please note that US is a big time supporter of holistic development of an individual. So they very much want to know that who you are as an individual as well. So they'd very much kind of respect the kind of, extracurricular activities that you've done over the years. They're interested in knowing more about it. They would like to see your certificates. And sometimes, especially for students who are looking at master's program, these certifications can actually help you get more scholarships. So these are something that you really have to tell the universities, in a very crisp and a nice way, so that they actually understand that you are the correct, right fit for their community as well. So once you complete the application, you start preparing for your visa and departure. Now, visa again is a very systematic process. Once you get an admit from a US university, you receive a form called the I-20 from the university, and with that you move on to fill up your visa application process. Once you do that, you finally prepare for your departure. Now, as Alinari suggested, it can be a little overwhelming for international students to adjust to the situation. So it's very important to stay connected with advisors like us, with Education USA. Again, as we are supported by State Department, none of our programs are chargeable. So you can very well, stay connected with us, attend all the pre-departure orientation sessions. Now, you must be wondering that we are here in Aizawl. Ma'am, you are sitting somewhere in Kolkata. How do we connect? So Education USA is very flexible in connecting with its students. Today you are here, tomorrow even if you are in any other parts of the country, feel free to physically reach out to Education USA offices. Feel free to write to us, get in touch with us. We can always advise you and mentor you over Google Meet. You can come and talk to us. Even you can give us a call. So there are ways to connect. If at any point of time, if you need any assistance, please feel free to reach out to us. And I know you've been sitting for long throughout the day, and you have some scholarships to be given out, which is a very interesting thing. So I'll leave that with you, with this information. And at any point of time, if you need any assistance, please feel free to reach out to us. Thank you so much.
Thank you, madam. On behalf of organizing committee, I would like to give you a big thank, giving a nice talk on this occasion, and I hope our students and the other members, they must be benefited. So we will be having a last presentation, as I was told, from the Malaysia, Dr. Wanal Thanzami from Monash University, Malaysia. So I think madam can introduce, and then he will be delivering.
Dr. Wanal Thanzami, she's from Monash University, Malaysia. She obtained her PhD in psychology from the University of Central Lancashire, UK. After 10 years of teaching at the School of Psychology, she moved to Monash University, where she is currently the undergraduate psychology program coordinator. Her teaching experience is within the areas of social, cross-cultural, and forensic psychology, and she continuously strives to educate and inspire her students through research-informed teaching. Her research focuses on the interpersonal and honor-based violence, cyberbullying, social media and technology usage, and psychological well-being, personality and evolutionary psychology. She has published in reputed peer-reviewed journals and is a member of the Honor Abuse Research Matrix and the International Society for Research on Aggression, and a fellow of the Higher Education Academy, UK.
Okay, good evening. Good afternoon for you there. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes, we can hear you well.
Okay, great. Okay, thank you very much for inviting me and to speak at this symposium. I didn't hear the introduction, so I guess they introduced me in terms of where I'm working and also my past experience. So basically, I'm here. I'm just going to talk to you about what internationalization at a university like Monash University looks like. So I'll talk you through some of these things, the things that we do, and I'll also provide some suggestions. I'll also talk about some challenges that we face. So just to give you some background, Monash University is an Australian university, and it has campuses. It has a campus in Malaysia, and so that's where I'm working. It also has campuses in Indonesia, and there are some links with other countries as well. So, for example, with China and also with India. So I know today you probably spent the entire day hearing about internationalization of higher education and what it is. So maybe just to give you a little bit of background, and because it flows in nicely with the things I'm going to talk about, perhaps I could just provide a broad definition of internationalization of higher education, which is the process of integrating some international aspect into the teaching, into the research and administration of an institution. So what is the purpose of internationalization of higher education, and what does it aim to achieve? Well, internationalization, it enriches higher education institutions by elevating the standard and quality of education, as well as the learning experience of students, and also enables the institution to build a global presence and reputation. It promotes global collaboration, exchange and understanding, and also global citizenship. It also prepares students to flourish in an ever-increasing interconnected world. And To a great extent, also collaboration with international partners can lead to the exchange of best practices, exchange of resources, as well as expertise. All these will enhance the quality of education and student experience provided by institutions. Now, when we say internationalization of higher education, a very integral part of that is also research. So international research collaboration, it encourages the exchange of ideas and expertise so that they can come together and address various complex global challenges. So in terms of preparing students for the global workforce, the international exposure enhances their employability, and it prepares them to thrive in the very diverse work environment that they will face once they leave university. And so through this international exposure, they develop very highly valued skills such as cross-cultural communication skills, adaptability, and also developing a global mindset. So these are highly valued in today's interconnected world. And of course, there are economic benefits as well. So not just for the university, but also for the country. And now I think also, university rankings, they are driving the agendas for universities, their agendas in terms of internationalization. So they want to excel. And I think this is a really this is a really good way to bring about healthy competition amongst universities. And it also increases and improves the country's quality of education and the education system. So when we think about internationalization, what does it mean? What does it entail? I guess the first thing that springs to mind is mobility, student mobility, so physical movement. But it's also important to acknowledge that it's also about staff mobility, so not just students. So yeah, basically mobility is the most referred to activity in internationalization, so physical mobility. And again, it's not just about within academia, as in students going to another campus to study, but it's also for research. So it's very important to think about research mobility, not just for students, but also for staff. Now, the core feature, I suppose, of internationalization, one of the core features of internationalization of higher education is promoting equity and inclusion, whereby international education opportunities are inclusive and accessible to all students. So on that note, considering the importance of internationalization of education, it's no wonder that India is obviously very much invested in this. And I was reading something about India just the other day. One of the facts is that India will have the largest number of people of college, university going age by 2030. And that's just in a few years' time. So therefore, it's no surprise that the India national education policy has one of its main objectives to universalize education so that they can achieve this global quality standard and also attract greater numbers of international students, which benefits the economy, but at the same time also achieve the goal of something referred to as internationalization at home. You may have heard about this today as well. Some of the speakers may have mentioned this. And this is a very important and crucial way in which we can provide international education opportunities to everyone to make it more accessible. So basically, internationalization at home, it refers to the integration of international and intercultural components into the curriculum within the domestic learning environment. So this means internationalization of the curriculum, and not only would it incorporate components, internationalization and intercultural components within the curriculum, it would also be included in the learning outcomes and also the assessment tasks and the teaching method. So here in Malaysia, how do we carry out, how do we approach this? What do we do? So as I said earlier, you probably know that Monash is a Australian university, but it has a campus in Malaysia. So we have various mobility programs where our students can study in Monash University, Australia, and the same for Australia students, they can come to Malaysia. And we have various partner universities all over the globe, and they can also go to these campuses to study. So this this connection, whatever we have in Monash, Australia is basically we are providing the exact same course. The only difference is that it's being delivered in a different country. So everything is the same. They have the same assessments. They have the same curriculum. They have the same they have the same degree as well. So this is something you probably may refer to as twinning program. So it's the same. So it doesn't make any difference if they go to the other campus to study for it or for a semester. And there is possibility of transfer of credits as well. So this is called the Global Intercampus Program. We also have other, as I was saying, we have exchange programs with our partner universities in other parts of the world. So we have something called the Global Summer and Winter Program. And these are just very short programs overseas at one of our partner universities. And this would be in between semesters, so in the break, the winter break or the summer break. Now, because Australia is in the southern hemisphere, for them, the winter is in June, July. So we refer to that as the winter. So June, July, the winter break. And summer is the December, January, February breaks. So when they go and spend time abroad, they gain a certain number of credits, so maybe 6 to 12 credit points, and it depends on the duration of the program. Now, in Malaysia, there are plenty of a number of foreign universities who have campuses in Malaysia. And most of these universities are from Australian universities and also from the United Kingdom. Now, this is very really beneficial for home students, and the reason why it's mainly Australia and also maybe the United Kingdom is because of the geographical location. So Australia is fairly close to Malaysia. And it also means that the students, they would have easy access should they wish to pursue further studies in Australia or should they wish to pursue work opportunities in Australia. So there are various benefits for the home country to have a university, a foreign university campus there. So, for example, you're providing your home students with the same degree. So having a foreign degree, they're learning the same things, being assessed in the same way. One of the things that parents of potential or prospective students always ask us when they inquire about the course is that when they get their degree, will it say a degree from Monash, Malaysia, or will it just say Monash? Because obviously, they don't want Malaysia to be there. And yeah, it's not about the campus where the course was delivered. It's a degree from Monash University, regardless of which country it was delivered. So you get the same degree and you pay comparably lower fees if you were, compared to if you went to that university abroad. You would pay less fees here in your home country, but obtain the same degree. And yeah, future prospects as well. It's great for, especially if they are thinking about pursuing higher further studies in that country, then it's easier for them. It makes it a lot easier for them to get that access. And I was reading up about the UGC and the UGC's regulation, and I know that they have plans to offer twinning programs or joint or dual degree programs through collaboration between Indian and foreign universities. And I think this is a really good opportunity. And I'm sure there are a lot of universities who would like to get their, get into to India. When I was doing my PhD, no, this wasn't when during my PhD. This was much later. So I did my PhD at University of Central Lancashire, and after I completed my PhD, I started working there. And this was like almost about 15 years ago. The University of Central Lancashire had this very great plan to build a campus in India, and there were a lot of planning and everything, and it was meant to be in Pune. And I was aware of this because some of them consulted me on this as well. But sadly, unfortunately, that plan never, it didn't work out. But the point I'm trying to say is that, yes, there are plenty of ways in which, this is a very good opportunity to make connections with universities by establishing, for foreign universities to establish their campuses in India. So this is, I know that the UGC is also thinking of, it's also having, there are some upcoming regulations regarding this as well. And I'm also aware that there is a scheme, the UGC is promoting the scheme for academic and research collaborations, where they're inviting talented foreign academics to come into the Indian education system to improve the competitiveness and things like that. But this also means that Indian staff, Indian researchers and academics, they have a chance to go abroad as well. So I guess these are some of the things that we do, but I will also talk briefly after I talk about the challenges, something, a more practical suggestion, something that we have done. Okay, so we talk. I've said there are all these great things about internationalization and all that, but I'm sure it's clear that it comes along with a host of challenges. So there are a number of challenges. So first, things like recognition of the qualifications. So if you're doing a twinning program, or if you're doing a dual degree, or if you're going abroad if your students are going abroad to do a semester there, and is that recognized in their home university? So yeah, differences in the academic standards, the accreditation system, and also in terms of the recognition of the degree across all these different countries, they can complicate the transferability as well as the recognition of qualifications that may be obtained abroad. But so therefore, it is essential to have mechanisms for quality assurance and also for the evaluation of the qualification, so that you can ensure credibility, especially when you're comparing these international qualifications. And another common challenge, which occurs a lot, and we face that too, is visa and immigration issues. So the regulations regarding visa and immigration. So all these various visa and immigration policies, especially here in Malaysia, it keeps changing, and they change it whenever they like. We're not informed about these changes. So these visa and immigration policies, so things like restrictions on student visas, work permits, and also the various complex visa regulations and administrative procedures, the lengthy administrative procedures, they can pose obstacles to international mobility and collaboration, and it can deter students and scholars from pursuing these opportunities abroad. Of course, there are financial problems, limitations, as well as language and also cultural barriers. They all pose a challenge, specifically cultural differences in teaching and learning styles, academic expectations, and also basic, social norms. They can be challenging when you're integrating international students and international faculty into the academic community. But despite all these challenges, the internationalization of higher education remains crucial if we want to nurture global collaboration, diversity, and innovation in the pursuit of knowledge. And through strategic planning, institutional collaboration, and support from policymakers and even the wider academic community, these obstacles can be resolved. So, for example, when we're talking about the degree that they are getting or the credits that they will obtain if they go abroad for a semester, if we plan ahead, and students get that help from the unit that is looking after this international collaboration, then it is possible. So all these obstacles, they can be resolved. And before I talk about one particular suggestion about internationalization, I just want to briefly mention Monash. We also have an international plan, and amongst many things, I'm just going to highlight 2 points, perhaps maybe to give you some idea as well. So our Monash International Plan, it highlights equity, diversity, and inclusion. So it focuses on engaging and caring for those who were formerly excluded from higher education internationally. So this is one of our our principles, the things that we are enforcing, or we are implementing. The other is sustainable internationalization, so which is global engagements. They must be financially, so not just financially sustainable, but also environmentally sustainable. And so we must consider the planet's resources by increasing opportunities for virtual mobility, and so things like limiting air travel where possible. So with regards to this virtual mobility, it's like when I mentioned earlier, when we think about internationalization, the first thing we think about is physical mobility, but it doesn't have to be physical mobility. It can be virtual. So in the virtual space, you can still offer international, you can internationalize your learning and your teaching. So, for example, at Monash University, we have online modules that we offer, and also something called the Global Online Learning, so where they have global study tours. And this is a part of a specific unit or a specific program, and they take them for short periods, like probably not more than 4 weeks, maximum 4 weeks, and they take them to various countries. So, for example, to Japan, or if you're doing something on sustainability, business sustainability, they go to Fiji, and they spend some time there, and they engage in activities and carry out coursework and things like that there. So this is another opportunity for another opportunity for internationalization of education. The last thing probably I want to talk about, I know I'm conscious about the time, it's quite late for you all and you've been there the entire day. So it's not just about physical mobility, but there are many other ways to approach this. So basically, we should be supporting more actively the various virtual exchanges. So I don't know if you've heard about this, something called the Collaborative Online International Learning. So COIL, C-O-I-L. And this is something that I was involved in, where I collaborated with other colleagues from not just from Monash, Australia, but also from University of Padua in Italy. So we got a grant for this, and this was basically a project that was focusing on enhancing healthcare through a multicultural and interdisciplinary collaboration in education. And this was for people, students who were in the health sciences. So basically, COIL, or Collaborative Online International Learning, it refers to a pedagogical approach that connects students in different parts of the world for collaborative learning experiences through online communication. So basically, it offers an engaging educational journey by bringing these students, collaborators together in shared learning environments where students engage in collaborative projects online without the need for travel. So in this project, we had students from Malaysia, from Monash, Malaysia. There were psychology students. We also had students from Monash, Australia. There were psychology students as well as public health students. And we had nursing students from the University of Padua. And so the academics involved in this, so academics from these universities, we co-designed and co-delivered this innovative, multidisciplinary and multicultural learning experience. And we implemented a range of teaching and learning methods. So things that, you all may be familiar with, things like flipped classrooms, interactive sessions. We had interactive sessions with external panels of experts, storytelling method, case studies, simulation and role plays. There were also collaborative platforms and discussion forums. And they had a collaborative group project and also had to write an individual reflective journal. So basically in the group project, they were posed a question, like a situation, a scenario, where as healthcare providers, they had to work together to resolve that situation. So like a global crisis, for example, like let's say flooding or earthquake or wildfire, forest fire. And because these students were from different disciplines, but all within the health sciences, so psychology, public health, and nursing, and from different countries, different cultures, different backgrounds, they were able to still work together and solve that problem. And we had really great feedback by the people who participated, students who participated in this. And they said that this project had an immense impact on enhancing their cultural competence and collaborative skills. And we are further expanding this project so that we can involve other disciplines, so not just health sciences, but also other faculties. So see, this is another example in which, we can foster internationalization in education. And you can see that it benefits not just students, but the educators as well. So let me conclude with just some thought points for reflection. First, let's just bear in mind that internationalization of higher education is an evolving concept. It changes in response to local, national, and global environment. And second, we can bring about global learning for all by paying more attention to the internationalization of our curriculum, enabling the participation of disadvantaged groups in mobility. So disadvantaged groups such as indigenous and other ethnic groups, refugees, immigrants, and even those formerly excluded from higher education internationally. And we can make use of new technological opportunities and advances to foster a more carbon neutral form of mobility so that internationalization of higher education is accessible and inclusive to all. Okay, thank you very much.
We'll be drawing the lots very soon, but we understand that you've been very tired sitting for the whole day, so let's all rise in our seats for 1 second to stretch our body, and then we will not have the true panel discussion type of a thing, but we will just introduce our international students, and they'll have a few words, and we will come to the end of the program with that. Okay, so we're shortening it because we're running out of time, but we hope no one leaves, because after the end of this, we will be drawing the lots. Okay? Okay, thank you for standing, and you may take your seats. Can we please have some more seats at the behind? Chairs. If we can have some chairs behind. Yeah. we would like to call up, we have a few international students as given in your program sheet from countries like Sudan, Japan, Myanmar, Namibia, Afghanistan, Uganda, Egypt, USA, Bangladesh. And here you might be surprised we add MZU because we have one sole student who have been sent out of MZU to Thailand. So we wanted him to be a part of this, and we consider him as an international student because he's been out. So an in-house international student, okay? So we'd like to call them up, and we would start with, I think Professor Moitea should be the one who's calling. I'll give him the mic, and he can call the students.
So I request all of you to come over here. Those who are present here today, please okay. David Hango from Namibia and Muhammad Omar from Egypt. Samania Klini from Uganda. Abdel Ghani Baraka from Sudan. Muhammad Mazur Rahman from Bangladesh.
You can take a seat.
Yeah, please come here. Please come over here. And Oipar. Oh, Deepar, sorry. Deepar from Myanmar. From Myanmar. Geoffrey. Oh, sorry. Oh, he's already here. Ahmed Idris Aldoma from Sudan. I hope he's here. Deepar, please come in at the front. Please. Ahmed Idris Aldoma. Okay, please come over here. Fusil Ismail Musa from Sudan. Ahmed Abdullah Adam from Sudan. I think all of you are here. Oh, please.
Ahmed, please.
Ahmed, please come over here. Okay. Is Seitara Honda. He's not here. Okay. Soma.
No.
Soma, yes. He's from Botany Department. He's from Myanmar. A PhD scholar from Myanmar. Mr. Soma, please come here. Monsanga. Okay, Monsanga.
So we'll be having a few words from them. They'll be talking about their experiences and the challenges they have faced as international students. However, we request that it won't be long and it'll be just 2 points so that everyone can have what they're all waiting for. Okay? So maybe I should go according to the list that I have so that side by side I can introduce them. David Hango, will you please rise? Yeah, he's a PhD student in the Department of Public Administration. He's come from Namibia and is a scholar through ICCR.
Okay, thank you very much, ma'am, for the chance. As she said, my name is David Hango. I'm a PhD scholar from Namibia. So, before that, I would like to inform you that today, as Namibians, we are celebrating the Independence Day at my country and all over here. We are turning 34 years of our independence. So, thank you very much for that, because we attained our independence because of India. India played a vital role for Namibia to attain independence. Okay, Apart from that, so I was very much excited to get this opportunity to receive to be informed that I become a part and parcel of ICCR scholarship. So I'm sure that there are many applicants received worldwide, but I become the luckiest person from Namibia to become a recipient of that scholarship. I'm very much thankful for that. Apart from that, the benefits of getting this scholarship from ICCR, or the benefits so far of getting this scholarship, number one, this is is my opportunity to explore worldwide, to interact with different people, rather from India and from various countries, as we are together with them right now here. I learned different approaches, different learning behaviors, different cultural, as we all know that India is the multi-cultural diversity. So I learned a lot. I learned different, whenever we have cultural activities, first time I was very much excited with the Mizo dancing. Yeah. So, and I learned different approaches when it comes to problem solving. Okay. Drawbacks. During my stay here in India, as you know that to come at the different places, we have to find some challenges and so on. So, language, luckily, at my country, English is our official language. Then here as well, I didn't experience very difficulties in English. So, what I do experience here really is the living standard. So, to say living standard here is quite expensive, especially food. Food so costly, let me say that. Weather adoption also is some kind of, as we know, like today it was a kind of snow and so on. So, and also, food, as I said, it was quite difficult to adopt the food. Different food, chili, masala, and so on. Yeah. Though so far now I adopt such. So, the other problem that I experience is about acquiring visas. When it comes to extending documents like visas and stays, how do you call it? The authorization of staying here is quite difficult and is quite costly to acquire those documents. So, with a very few words, I will give a floor to my fellow students. So, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, David. And due to time constraints, we'll take one person from each country. Okay, one person to talk about the experiences and the challenge from each country. So next we'll call on Mahmoud Omar from Egypt. He's a biotechnology student in Patuma University College.
Hello everyone. It's my pleasure today to be here and very thankful for everyone who gave me this chance. I am Mahmoud Omar from Egypt, part in Department of Biotechnology in BSc. My experience here in India, it's very interesting because here I feel in Aizawl, I don't feel like I'm in India because even my friend also, they say that in Auditorium in India, I say that. First of all, people here look like not like India people. Also, there is language. It's not like Hindi. Mizo language is local language and very interesting for me to learning, but it's very difficult for me to understand it or learn it also, but I'm trying. And also one of my problem is language, because in Egypt we speak Arabic language. Yeah, our language, second language is English, but here people, they don't speak Arabic or English. So communication here with people is very difficult for me. And also for study, because in Egypt I study by Arabic, but here education is by English. So it's also one of my problems that's faced with me. And food here in Aizol is it's okay for me because I don't like spicy food, and also in Egypt. So it's more familiar for me in my food in my country. And also weather here is much more difficult for me, because when the first time I come to here, I feel like something different in the weather. Because in Egypt it's a ground, here in Aizol it's a mountain, so I feel this different. And also weather here is also good, because in my country now, especially in my state, people, my family, my friends there, they are freezing, because weather in my country is very, very cold now. So I don't know what to say more, but here now, my experience in BUC or in Aizol, it's very fantastic for me, something new, and also give me more challenge and more problem also to face it and get solution for it. And I think this is only for international people, is face new problem. For example, for me, I face new problem I never faced it before in my country. So it give me strong mind that's to face my problem and my future. So thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Mahmoud.
Thank you, Mahmoud Omar, for sharing your wonderful experience in India and at PU College here in Aizol. And I wish and pray that you successfully complete your study. So we shall now request Samanya Willie, become student from Uganda. Oh, this is from Pachunga University College.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Samanya Winnie. I don't have so much to say, but what I can say, the good of being an international student, I'm acquiring a lot of academic experience, because the academic here is quite different from ours. The fact that we're having MDC and C and the SEC subjects, courses, I'm really experiencing a lot, and I know by the end of the course, I'll have a career have a career perspective when I get outside there. The challenge I'm facing, it's quite difficult, that I'm really having bad experience with weather, especially when it's winter, because in Uganda we don't have winter. Here, seeing winter, it's really hard for me. I really experience a lot of hardship when it's too cold, but with time I know I'll get used to it. I don't have so much to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Winnie. Now we have 4 students from Sudan. So I don't know who is going to come and speak, but I'll just introduce them. Abdul Ghani Baraka, please stand up. Yeah, PhD, he's doing his PhD in zoology. Then Ahmed Idris, yeah, he's also doing his PhD in environmental science. Faisal Ismail, doing his PhD in forestry. And Ahmed Abdullah, although we call him Max, he's doing his PhD in environmental science. So which one of you is going to come and speak? Who's Baraka? Okay, Baraka was the first international student in Mizoram University, so we call him Lal Baraka now. Yeah.
Thank you, Mom. It's my great pleasure to stand in front of you here to express my experience as international student in Mizoram University. It is my pleasure to express my international student in the International Symposium as the internationalization of the higher education at home and abroad. My journey was started in Sudan after my UG graduation in the University of Bahri College of Natural Resource and Environmental Studies Department of Wildlife. I decided to take place to study outside the country. I applied for many scholarships around the world, including ICCR. It was great news when I received a phone call from the Indian embassy in my country requiring or requesting to bring original document, and I will have interview as soon as possible. It was secret. I didn't tell anyone, even my parents. After a week, I received the phone. After receiving the admission of the full scholarship of ICCR, starting to start the new journey. Started the new journey, it's always having difficulties due to COVID-19 pandemic time. At that time, the class was started online mode. Some limitations were there. Some of them are the technical as well as others. Then I came to India to study online mode inside the university campus. I was the first student who is studying online inside the university campus. I thanked the International Student Director, Professor H.K. Lalding Puyi Fente, and all office of the Eastern International Student Office member and the Department of Zoology for their unconditional collaboration and helpful. I will extend to my great thanks to ICCR Director and all office members as well as the Indian Embassy in my country for their helping and unconditional helpness. My experience in Mizoram University, I think I am the lucky to be in the MZU part as well as all students in the Mizoram University. All the students and research scholars, teaching and non-teaching staffs were very kind and are still helping and welcoming me side by the side. I participate in most, not all, but most of the events inside the Mizoram University. The final semester, in my final semester, I went to Shillong to my final feedback report. I met the ICCR director, Sir Monash. He was so excited to see me there. Then, after I finished my MSc, I applied for PhD and I got admission for the PhD. It's very fine to be here in the Mizoram University. Some of the difficulties that I got in my experiences, I think most of them they are the academic pressures, the academic system or the system of education here in Mizoram or as India as well is little bit different from the Sudan. Most of the students facing this problem, how to overcome of this, it's been a little bit mental supports. It needs a mental support for the most of them. And I think it was a great journey for me to be here to express my feelings. Sometimes you cannot able to express what you mean, but I great thanks for all the international student office, director, and all family members in the MZU and all Mizo society. It was a great time to be here in the Mizoram University. I thank you a lot. Even the thank is not enough for you, but I'd say it will be good as well as you are here. I thank you for more.
Thank you, Mr. Baraka, for sharing your experience here in Mizoram University. So Mr. Baraka with his friends have come a long way from Sudan to India and to Mizoram University for higher education. And I wish them all the best as they pursue for higher education here in Mizoram University. And we shall now ask Mohammed Maznur Rahman, coming from Bangladesh. He is a PhD student in the Department of Economics.
Assalamu alaikum, namaskar, and good afternoon. I extend my sincere gratitude to all present at this international symposium, and I would summarize my feelings at Mizoram University in 3 points. First, diversity. Second, internalization. And third one is the honesty and simplicity, the biggest strength of Mizoram. And finally, I thank you very much, MJDU, the Office of International Affairs. Congratulations to arrange the symposium and wishing you many more joyous milestones to celebrate moving forward. Keep going. Jai Hind.
Thank you, Raman. Now we have 2 persons from Myanmar. Deepar, please, will you please rise? Who is doing her master's MSc in environmental science, and Soma, I'm very sorry, I don't have your full name. Soma, Malsoma, also from Myanmar. He's doing his PhD in botany. I think Deepar is going to give the talk.
As this secretary belongs to women, so women will be representative the people of Myanmar. So good afternoon, everyone. I'm very happy to be here today. And on behalf of my friends, Burmese students, I would like to share my greetings and all my happiness to you all. Here we are 12 students. So on behalf of 12 students, so I might take a little extra time. And so first of all, I just want to say thank you to, we want to say thank you to Mizoram University and all the authority for accepting us as your student, and especially to Office for International Affairs. Ma'am, thank you so much. All the staff, all the workers, really, they are not just working, they work with love. So every time we experience their love and their sacrifice. Sometimes the midnight or early morning, we text them, we ask help. They are always ready for us 24 hours. So we thank you. Thank you very much for your hard work. And here as we as international student Mizoram University, we embark this remarkable journey beyond the borders, the culture, the language. We discover not only this academic knowledge, beyond that, which is very valuable and very precious one, is our friendship and relationship. So this is what we really value, and this we really appreciate. You know what? Because we, India and Myanmar, as long as the earth exists, we will be neighbor. So it's really important to have this a good relationship, friendship, and we value this one, and we get chance to have, we are really happy that we have a chance to build this friendship, especially to our Mizo brother and sister. Because most of my friends from Myanmar, we live in the border region, so we are not just only connected, we are depending so much on Mizoram for our socio-economic, education purpose, medical purpose, many things. So I myself, if Mizoram is not here, I don't think I'll be here today. Like if we are not bothered to Mizoram, because most of my education since my childhood, the money I got from Mizoram, selling many other products. So you play this Mizoram and the people play very important role for us. So I'm so thankful to, I think I was to say thank you to all the Mizo people, all Mizo brother and sister, and the people of Mizoram. Really, you are so important. And let's keep this, the friendship and the relationship that we built together in this campus, let's maintain and keep it up for our society. I believe one day all my friends here, they will become the leader of Mizoram or India, right? Or maybe our friends from international, they will become the country leader or some other important people. So that time we will have many connection, network, and many channels. So which is very important for our society. So we really value this one, and let's keep it up. And okay, there are many more things. We have to say thank you to this university and people of Mizoram, and we also benefited many things a lot, especially for us, many refugees, more than 45,000 are Mizoram. Right now, they are residing here. And these Mizo people, they extend their heart, they open their arms, they shelter their house. So, the thing, they have done so much for us for so long, which is, we cannot describe with the words, so we cannot express with the words. So I just want to say thank you on behalf of the people of Myanmar as well. So yeah, and here now I'll go to the challenge, and the time is very less, so there is no much challenge we face, but there's one thing, the most challenge we face is that in Myanmar we speak Burmese. So Burmese learning, and those things we speak Burmese, so when we come here outside, we don't know how to communicate in English and Mizo. But we are trying hard. This challenge helps us to grow more. So we are happy with the challenge that we face. And also, this Mizo language also we are learning because this is very important for us. We often visit here, coming back. So we are learning as well. So this challenge is, it's boosts us to grow. So we don't see this as just minor. So yeah, this is one of little challenge we face. So I just want to conclude. Thank you very much, everyone here, and enjoy your day. Thank you.
Thank you, Deepa. She's the iron sister of the entire group. Next, we have, we were supposed to have Seitaro, and Seitaro Honda, I'll introduce him anyway, although in absentia. He is doing his BTech in civil engineering. The demure, shy Seitaro Honda, I think he could not come because of his exams today. And his exams are going on these days. Then just one announcement. The students, please do not worry about your return home because the bus is going to wait for you till 5:30. So we just wanted to let you know. Next, we'll call Geoffrey Purcell, who is here to do his audit, and he's planning to join political science, and he's come from the United States of America.
Sabay, idame, imatilatsuak, I. What's up? I'm Joffrey. I'm from America. About Mizoram University, Moy Lutuk. I love this university. You can go outside, look how beautiful it is. So I'm gonna not talk about this kind of things. I'm gonna talk about my experience coming abroad. This is quite a long way from the US to Mizoram. So for anyone here in Mizoram trying to do the exact same thing, I kind of want to give some advice for them. So Iowa is quite isolated and low population. So with that, I think me and Mizoram, we have a lot of similarities, right? When it's isolated, you're comfortable, it's safe, it's hard to leave. And I am one of the only students who have traveled abroad from my state. And it sounds pretty shocking from the US perspective, but I really believe anyone can do it. And so I really believe that you Mizo students, right? We need to not accept the status quo when it comes to education here in India. You can't accept the status quo. You have to reform. You have to seek other opportunities that might be scary. You have to step outside of your comfort zone, right? In Mizoram, it's hard to get outside into mainland India. And so you might not interact with mainland Indians very much. And that's what I've seen throughout all of Mizoram. It's very difficult to interact with mainland Indians, but you need to step outside of your comfort zone. This is an international symposium, but this country of India is one of the best places to study on the planet because it's a country made up historically of international countries. It's like studying in the European Union for South Asia. It's amazing of an opportunity. So you can step out and see different cultures and still be in your same country. And if you step out and see a completely different country, you're also going to have a wonderful opportunity. And also being in an isolated state. One of the biggest things that was hard for me is that your family, your friends, they won't understand the struggles of having to move abroad, how you're going to have to work to save up for things, how it might be scary to leave that comfort zone. You might not have measles where you're going, but it'll be okay. You can make friends everywhere. You can learn the language anywhere. It's going to be difficult, right? Mizo, very different than English, but I'm still trying. Hindi, very different than English, but I'm still trying. So it's definitely doable. And so you can't let those people say, no, don't do that. No, you can't do that. No, don't go abroad. You can't do that. It's silly. You can do it. I believe in all of you guys. Mizoram has a very bright future. India has a very bright future. Jai Hind.
Thank you, Jeffrey, for your words of encouragement to our students. I think that will give courage to many of the students who are sitting here. So thank you so much. And I wish you a pleasant stay here in Mizoram University. So thank you. So next and the last, we have Mr. Lalbos Sanga, a student of environmental science to Siam University. He's from Mizoram. He is studying here now in Siam University of... Oh, I see.
Hello, everyone.
Please explain, introduce yourself about your...
Okay, first of all, I'd like to say it is a pleasure to be amongst the international students here. And by no means, I'm not an international student, but recently in 2023, I've had the opportunity to represent Mizoram University in Siam University.
Louder.
Oh, sorry about that. Okay, so recently in 2023, I've had the opportunity to represent this institution at Siam University. And I'd like to thank the director, Professor H.K. Laldinpui Fente, and the deputy director, Dr. Chanpui Ralte, who has been nothing but helpful to me in all of the problems that I faced during the application and the process. And yeah, that's pretty much it there. We attended a program, and today I stand here to present to you about the experiences that I had during that short amount of time that I was there in Thailand, and to share to the students the value of the exposure that I got there. And there I learned about global citizenship and what leadership values we need to instill in ourselves. And I don't think that necessarily all these values that we know, we have it in ourselves. So what I mean to say is that when I went abroad, I found that all of these things that we have been studying here are how should I say, are in a very, how should I say, conceptual way, that we don't really understand leadership and what it means to be a global citizen. So what I'm trying to basically convey is that the experiences that I had there at Thailand, it opened me to many opportunities, and I still talk to the many friends that I made there. And the problems that I would say I had there was the food and the cultural barrier that I had. It's very tough to crack open someone, but if you just talk to them a little bit, and if you get to know them, we figure out at the end of the day we have a lot in common. And so that's what I like to say, is that you go out and you just approach people, and you will find that they're really, really interested in talking to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Wansanga. We're very proud of him. The Office of International Affairs is very proud of him because he was selected after quite a rigorous interview that he faced, and without much information regarding the timing, and suddenly he had to face the interview. Also, I would like to mention that when we went to Thailand, there were around 7 countries participated, in which he also won the Best Student Award or the Best Student Prize. Okay, thank you everyone for your inputs and for letting us know about your experiences as well as the challenges that you faced while being here. And we hope your challenges will become very minor very soon. Okay? All right, thank you. I think Professor Moya would like to take a photograph with him, or can we do that later? Please remain so that we can have a photo session at the end. Okay? All right, thank you. And now we're coming to the end. Before the vote of thanks, we have a very important and crucial thing to do. Can I know if there's anyone from the colleges, any faculty members from the colleges still here? Faculty member from the colleges? None? Okay. I think, can we have the boxes out for the UG first? Can we have the professor from the college, please? I believe there's one professor from the college. Can you come down, please? The teacher from the college. I'm not supporting. The lucky draw for the undergraduates. Sir, before we start, can you introduce yourself?
Yeah. Thank you so much. Myself, Dr. Suman Damira. I teach public administration in Pachunga University College.
Thank you. Now, this is the box of the UG, which they have submitted during registration. We'll try to mix it up a little bit. Maybe if we have a tray, it would be better, right? What do you say? From the audience, tray or from the box? On the table. Okay, we do it on the table.
Wait the time.
Okay. So your teacher is going to go ahead for the UGs. Oh, okay. Before I open it, the rule is that the person has to be here in person. Okay? If not, we'll pick another one. For 10,000. For 10,000 rupees. That's towards your international publication. H. Lalom Zwala. Public Administration. Is he here? H. Lalom Zwala.
An ID.
Oh. His area of interest is rural development. He's from which college? Pachunga University College. May I request the director, OIA, to present the check?
Very, very gladly I present this to, what's your name again?
Lalong Zwala.
Lalong Zwala of Public Administration Department, is he? Public Administration, Research Area of Interest, Rural Development. So that he thinks internationally and takes the torch forward, all right, and make sure that he does international publication. It could be online, internet, and he can also be helped by his teachers at Patunga University College. We are so glad that you guys are here, and congratulations.
Ini kata siap kok gitu anda. Ini kata siap kami nak kita.
Hey, hey, dan
Mungkin sama
okay, I'm not siap. Attempt to back.
Thank you, sir. Now, can we have the basket for the PG postgraduate students?
Well, then, like ini.
May I request Professor Eflin Nunmoya to kindly pick.
Exciting, yeah.
This is for postgraduate students an amount of 15,000. For an amount of 15,000. Rodi Si Malsom Pui, mass communication. Is she around? Is Rodi Si Malsom Pui here? Absent? She's not here? Okay.
Yeah, next.
Podlelo. Zaitin Remy, Department of English and Culture Studies. Absent? Oh, if the person's not here, then we continue. Zaitin Remy. H. Lelzon Twai, Tourism and Hospitality Management. No? Yeah. Okay.
I don't mind taking it home.
Sila Nunpui, Psychology. No? Okay. Oh.
Okay.
Angela Tsingel Kim, Physics Department. Angela, Physics Department. No? Let's see who will be the lucky one. Silal Rodpuya, Psychology Department. Psychology, Silal Rodpuya.
And we don't, they are going to regret this for the rest of their time here in MPQ status.
Kevalal Roth, the Psychology Department. No.
Is that until you guys,
until one of you. Eflal Munmoi, Environmental Science. Yes. Finally.
Oh,
Cái gì có điểm? Kia là tụt point.
I picked what I'm only at the lowest block.
Lucky after 6 picks.
This 1-4. Okay, this is for environmental science. Oh,
do you have your ID?
Can you vouch for her? Is she really the student from that department? I want somebody to stand up and second that. Yeah. Yes. Okay. Okay. Thank you so much for enjoying your time. You note that you got this opportunity to win this as well as be educated about internationalization. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you, son.
I let me cut code it up. In Kadawin, Kadawsiapang. I do. The big one. And the Greek to watch it.
Okay, now for the final one, for research scholars, an amount of 20,000 rupees. Professor Zaita Zawa Patwal, sir, can you please come? Are you ready? How many research scholars are there? Please raise your hands. Okay, good, good. Let's see who's the luckiest one. Anshul Chauhan, Mass Communication. Anshul Chauhan. Not here? Okay.
I tell you.
Another one.
I tell you.
And yeah, you know. So, oh, what's fun?
VL Som, their lead psychology. No?
Yeah, you're. You lump of it.
Yaksh Dev, Tourism and Hospitality Management.
Not
here. Will it be the 6th time lucky again? Let's see. Saidin Pui Silo, social work.
How?
No.
We clap when they're not here.
Kezo Nunmoi Library and Information Science. Kezo Nunmoi Library and Information Science. No. Gaurav Kumar, Commerce. Gaurav Kumar, Department of Commerce. No? Jamin Modi, Industrial Chemistry.
Oh.
Jamin Modi, Industrial Chemistry. No? Okay, let's move a little faster so that you can catch the bus. Akoijam Benjamin Singh, Department of Forestry. No? Pradyumna Kumar Panda, Psychology. Okay. Finally. Pradyumna Kumar Panda, Psychology.
Atan. I told you. Okay. Finally, from psychology department, Actually, we got many from psychology department, because almost all of the members of the department participated in the morning hours. That's why the draw of lot was in their favor, because a whole lot of psychology students were there. And finally, research scholar, because I'm professor of psychology. So, but then all this is far away from me. It's very fair. Okay, so think international. You carry forward our torch. All right. Thank you so much. Yeah. Congratulations.
Hello.
Yeah.
Oh, the
Yeah. Eating.
Thank you, sir. I hand over the program to Miss Emmeline.
For vote of thanks. And so, Tanmoya.
Now we will call Dr. Sizo Thanmoya, Assistant Director, Office of International Affairs, for vote of thanks.
Okay, it's been a very long day, so we will keep it as brief as possible. First of all, I would like to propose a vote of thanks to all of our speakers. Shri Kuldeep Dagar, Joint Secretary, Association of Indian Universities. Shri N. Munish Singh, Zonal Director for the Indian Council for Cultural Relations. Dr. Archana Thakur, Joint Secretary, University Grants Commission. And Dr. Vanel Thanzami, Monash University, Malaysia. I would also like to extend a very special thanks to Srimati Megha Roy Chatterjee, who took the time to come to the university, to come to Mizoram for the program. Ma'am, we are very grateful to you for having had taken the time out of your busy schedule to spend this day with us. I would also like to thank Srimati Alinari Lianlong, who is from Oxford, UK. And I would like to thank Professor Diwakar Tiwari, the Director of Internal Quality Assurance Cell, MZU, and Professor F. Dalunmoya and Dr. Champui Ralte for hosting our sessions. And I would also like to finally thank all the students who have taken the time to stay till the end of our program. We hope it has been fruitful. We hope that you have learned something about internationalization and how important it has been. And to all of my fellow organizing committee members, thank you. Good evening, and thank you, everyone.